Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to official 1, special for E3 of Base Camp. I'm Commander Crescent.
I'm Svelger.
And we're going to be going over all the news we have for E3 because...
It's a lot.
Good lord, this E3.
Yeah, this is a lot. I think I count, actually, I didn't count, 6, 10. I have, 20, probably some odd 20 pages of notes.
Yeah, so there's a lot of notes that have been made for this one. And altogether, do you want to kind of say, how you felt about this E3 before we kind of go down the little roster of what we
I think we should probably wait for that until we're done.
Okay.
Because then we have time to kind of compliment everything.
Sounds good. This way we kind of give all our opinions this way, or how we felt
we'll
about
also
it.
be rating each conference, and if anybody heard the mock-up of this show last year, you'll know how I do my rating systems. I think you forgot some of mine for this year, and I'm excited for that.
Oh, no. I remember a couple of them, and there's one in particular I'm excited to hear
To
again.
give you an idea...
We won't say what conference... We won't say which conference this was for last year. We'll just give it the rating that we had for it, though, because it was hilarious. I would give numerical ratings for what I thought, and she would give very different styled ratings, which are even arguably probably better.
To give you an idea, for Bethesda and Square Enix for last year, Bethesda I was a bored child at a concert, and Square Enix I was a bored adult at a concert. So that's how we're going to do this.
So that's how we're doing it, because I don't really have a rating system this year to do it, because...
we're just going to go with mine, huh?
Honestly, I think yours are fine. I can think of numbers for what I think as we go through.
That's fine.
But otherwise, that's what I'm thinking of.
Sorry, I'm watching a streamer play Sonic 06, and God, why?
People that want to subject themselves to hell. If you want that, just play Sonic 06.
It's a mood.
It's the tech demo of hell.
I guess they're showing more Cyberpunk.
Well, it makes sense.
Right.
Cyberpunk's really
So, spoiler alert, we're not doing EA. EA showed everything right off the bat.
EA showed everything off the bat. We pretty much literally said
We listed
everything.
it off last week.
Yeah, we listed it off last week. If you guys did not catch that, go ahead and check out last week's, and you guys will see what was discussed for what we thought. They pretty much hit everything. Maybe a couple things here and there that have come out the last couple of days that they didn't really bother to bring up at the convention, which was weird.
Yeah, the only other thing that got teased at EA Play that wasn't previously announced was Skate 4.
And that's the thing. For a lot of people, I'm surprised they didn't show that, because people have been waiting for Skate 4 for years.
I mean, what are you going to do?
I know, but it's a very fascinating thing that they wouldn't show that during the conference and just put that for EA Plays instead.
Well, here's the thing, is that EA Play was their conference. It was that 3-hour piece of shit.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it, by the way. I wasn't going to subject myself to 3 hours of torture, so don't expect a whole lot from EA.
Yeah, from what we saw on the internet, that was a very disappointing one that happened, so...
Yeah, I don't care. You fucked it up.
Yeah, so...
All right.
EA, nothing really too important.
Yeah, and we're just going to move because I don't want to be here for 4 hours.
That's fair. Alright, so next conference after that was Microsoft?
Yeah, it was Microsoft.
Alright, so... Just a heads up, I missed the Microsoft conference, but I caught a rerun of it later because I was at work, but I have not seen the Bethesda one, but I pretty much got the full rundown for what happened. I've been able to see enough online to know exactly what happened.
And that was my job.
Yep.
Alright, so, Microsoft kicked off with Outer Worlds. If you haven't heard about this game, it was made by Obsidian, which are the same people that did Fallout New Vegas.
They've done Fallout New Vegas. They helped out with Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Oh, they did? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they did Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. So BioWare did the first one. They did the second.
Was Obsidian also the people behind South Park?
I don't think they are.
Hang on, we got the case for Fractured But Whole here.
Yeah, so she's going to double check that. They also have done a game which we just currently picked up yesterday, which is called Pillars of Eternity. So that's a really good one if you guys ever want to check that out. I'll probably talk about that in a later podcast. I don't think they helped out with Fractured Butthole, though.
I thought they did. I thought Obsidian had something to do with that.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
That's probably in the wrong spot. I'll fix it later.
Yeah.
I thought Obsidian had something to do with South Park.
Maybe an older South Park. Maybe they did.
Let me hang on. Am I still in? Alright, good.
Yep.
Let me check something real quick. I should have done this before, but...
They could have had something involving Stick of Truth, maybe. Sorry for the interruption.
Developers was Obsidian.
There you go.
So let me see Fractured But Whole. Like I said, I could have sworn they had something to do with that.
It makes sense.
Oh.
Actually, that actually make a lot of sense if it was them for that too.
Okay, they actually didn't have anything to do with Fractured But Whole, but they did do
Stick of Truth.
Stick of Truth, which explains why I love Stick of Truth.
Yeah, because it's very Obsidian-esque, and honestly, I love their games personally.
Yeah, like if you've played Fallout New Vegas, Outer Worlds looks a lot like Fallout.
Yeah, like if you like good strategy-based stuff, then
Yeah, good RPG.
like good RPG or good sometimes good FPS depending because it's Fallout.
Yeah. Well, Fallout's still, it's a Western RPG.
Yeah, with a little bit more of a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Instead of, like, kind of like the turn-based stuff, like with Knights of the Old Republic and Pillars of Eternity.
Yeah, but if you like games like that, you're going to like Outer Worlds. It's also being published by Private Division, who is under 2K.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and that's coming out in October. And now we're going to start the process of everything's coming out in October and November.
Yeah, like, we have a bunch of stuff middle September, October, November. And also be ready for whenever we get to Nintendo, be ready for a lot of shit for Q1 of next year. So if you're a gamer, be ready for your wallets to bleed.
Yeah, that's what the summer's for, right? Alright, next is Bleeding Edge, which is Ninja Theory's new game. And I don't know if you remember this one, because it's very forgettable. This looked like Borderlands meets Overwatch.
Oh, that's right. Like, we both looked so confused by it. It looked like they were trying to go for, like, a Team Fortress 2 vibe, but it had too much of the Borderlands vibe.
Yeah. So, it's 4v4 melee
Mm-hmm.
combat. It actually has DMC's combat director. Not Devil May Cry, DMC. And there's a beta for it on the 27th, so that's in about 2 weeks?
If we can see the calendar.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks from the
Tomorrow.
13th.
Yeah, so tomorrow,
We're recording this on the 12th, by the way.
Yeah,
so,
so-
just so.
This way, people know where we're at right
Yeah.
now.
So, yeah, that's Bleeding Edge. I don't think an actual release date was announced, but woohoo! More Overwatch.
Yeah, like, for those who like Overwatch, great, here's another game to play. If not, I'm sorry, guys.
By the way, I accurately made a prediction. The camera was shit. The entire conference, the camera was shit.
Well, the funny thing is, they weren't the only offenders of that this year.
God, it was everybody. Everybody except Nintendo. And the only reason Nintendo got away with this was
pre-recorded.
pre-recorded.
People get to that, how much I love that conference, though.
We'll get there. So then he announced Ori and the Will of the Wisps, or more accurately, showed more of Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
I am so excited for that game.
So it's basically a boss trailer, so they showed like a bunch of different bosses. There's a spider.
Oh my god.
I'm not looking forward to that.
Ah.
There was one that looked like Trico from Last Guardian.
Kinda, yeah, and I actually like the design of it, though.
And then there was that wolf thing that we've seen in the last trailer. The bird is still, the little baby owl is still adorable.
That thing must be protected forever. If they make a plush of that, I want it.
And they actually announced a release date,
Yeah,
which is next February.
Thank God.
I'm actually really excited for this because Ori and the Blind Forest is one of my favorite games.
She actually got me to play it, so I admit it was a
We are
real
horrible at platformers, but we love Ori.
Yeah, for those of you guys who watched me play a freaking platformer, I'm horrible.
But we made an exception for Ori.
I mean, do you remember how bad me playing Shantae went?
Oh god, that went splendidly.
Exactly, so we know, and yeah, that's a platformer I'll still enjoy to no extent.
So then they announced Minecraft Dungeons, which is third-person RPG, Diablo-style Minecraft.
Yeah, it's like Diablo-style Minecraft, or for those that may have played Dungeon Siege Minecraft.
But it's 4-player. Like, you can play with up to 4 people, which, cool.
Yeah, I mean, it looked interesting. Like,
Yeah.
My Minecraft days are pretty much over at this point. The only time I ever really goof around with Minecraft is if I'm hanging out with a bunch of old coworkers on those old
By the way,
maps I built.
this is from Mojang.
Oh!
Like, this is directly from Mojang, so it's not like a Telltale type of situation.
Oh, so you actually say Mojang. I always said Mojang.
Apparently it's Mojang.
Interesting.
It's Swedish, so what
That
can you
makes sense.
expect?
But yeah, I never knew that. But that's cool that he's actually
Yeah.
doing it again.
And this is spring of 2020.
Okay.
And here we go.
Yeah, delve down the rabbit hole, kiddos. Your
This
wallets are
didn't-
gonna bleed.
This I don't think actually got an official release date yet, but they gave us at least a window.
Yeah, so.
Alright, that was Jedi. I'm just gonna, like, some of these notes I'm just gonna skip because it's about, like, what they talked about. Like,
Fair.
when Phil Spencer came out.
Fair.
Phil Spencer, by the way, had on a weird-ass brain shirt, and I had to explain to you what that was.
Yeah, but you were excited after you found out what
After
it
I
was.
found out what it was, yeah, nobody had a clue.
Yeah.
So then they showed a little bit more of Jedi Fallen Order.
It looks interesting.
Basically what they showed at E3, though.
Yeah.
Or EA.
Yeah, it's like they pretty much just showed the exact same trailer from what I was seeing.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing.
But honestly, it looks interesting though. It kind of looks like they're taking a lot of inspiration from like Force Unleashed though.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. The gameplay in Force Unleashed was great.
I know it was, but it's definitely getting some heavy vibes of that with the amount of Force usage that you're getting. But watching him deflect the blaster bullets was pretty cool. And watching him like grab it from a distance and pull him in for the lightsaber stab, that was pretty great.
fun.
Which makes me wonder if there will be an alignment system in that then, if you will actually have choices for light and dark side, or if since you're a Jedi and hiding, if you'll just stay on the light side.
I think it's heavily implied you're supposed to be a Jedi, so I don't think there's going to be an alignment system.
I can see a lot of people maybe asking for it though.
It's not something that Respawn does.
That's fair.
So this is Respawn. It's the people who did Titanfall, Titanfall 2, and Apex.
You can really see the Titanfallism in the trailers originally when you see him, like, wall running.
Oh, yeah, it's totally right up their alley, but they don't really do, like, choices. That's never been their shtick, and honestly, not every game needs to have that kind of alignment system.
For Star Wars universe, it does make sense, but it'd be kind of nice to see if they do it. Awesome. If not, I really don't mind.
Yeah, the droid was cute.
Oh, the droid is freaking adorable. Like, I want that.
I remember the end of the trailer, it was, yeah, we survived. No, we're not doing that again.
It's such a cute droid. He just wanted to drive another AT-AT.
So, and that comes out in November.
And
November 15th. Do you remember what other game comes out November 15th?
I believe I do. Oh, I do now. Isn't it Final Fantasy VII?
No, that's next year.
Okay, that's my bad.
Pokemon.
Pokemon Sword and
It's
Shield.
gonna lose. It will lose to Pokemon.
Yeah, because there's enough following for people who like Pokemon that will beat it out, unless they can show more of what this game's about.
Oh, this is another mech sorry, I'm also watching a stream for what they're showing on the E3 floor. That's another mech game.
I'll say.
Anyway,
So,
then they showed fucking Blair Witch,
that was out of nowhere.
which I don't know if anybody who watches you is old enough to know what the fuck that is.
Maybe.
Can we not name drop? But
Sorry about that.
most of your viewers are kind of young.
Yeah, a lot of my viewers are pretty
Blair
young.
Witch was a horror movie, kind of done in found footage style.
Mhm.
Like, if you guys have seen Cloverfield, kind of sort of like that, but it was like in the 90s.
Mm.
And at first I thought it was Alan Wake.
I mean, that would have been more believable.
And that comes out August 30th. Alright, and then the big one, Cyberpunk.
Oh my lord,
I mean, it looks like Cyberpunk.
It looks like Cyberpunk. The trailer was interesting. I got very strong vibes of Deus Ex, seeing kind of like the mechanisms
Yeah.
for people.
Well, this looks like a CD Projekt Red game.
Yeah.
So, it looks like The Witcher.
Which it looks good, though.
So, it looks like Cyberpunk. It looks like everything we've seen until...
This is where the mic just gets dropped. We were not sure if this was going to be what made Microsoft win the conference this year, but in the end, from everything else we saw, they didn't. But this could have done it if no one else had to come to play.
So, they show part of the trailer, and it goes on, and then... Because you're part cyborg, because that's the whole shtick of Cyberpunk, is anything you don't like, you can just replace with a robot part.
Again, just
We
think
watched
Deus
this-
Ex.
We watched them, I guess Samurai is the main character, like, stab a dude, like, with swords that came out of his arm.
Like, very, like, spider-like. So his arm opens up, and it's almost like trying to just jab
Yeah.
right into it.
But then, so his, I guess, servo's cut out or something, I don't know.
I think he got
He wakes
shot,
up,
so.
and then some guy shows up, and it's Keanu fucking Reeves.
That was weird. He's just, like, standing
John
up.
Wick.
Yeah, he's like, hey, guess what? We got a city to take over.
And then Keanu Reeves actually came out onto the conference.
And people lost their minds.
And then he announced the release date.
Yeah, it was actually really funny. I think the best part of that, and you guys have probably seen memes online lately,
Oh, yeah.
of just, what was, I can't even remember the phrasing now, which annoys me.
He, basically what happened was he came out, he's trying to talk, and people are cheering because it's John Wick. And somebody shouted, like, trying to, like, be a wholesome heckler, shouted, "You're breathtaking" to him. And he goes, "You're breathtaking."
You're all breathtaking.
And that has just been a meme already.
The man is just, because of his work with John Wick, he's almost a legend now. But for
So-
those that know him from older movies, he also was in Bill and Ted and the old Matrix films.
So, the reason why I wanted to wait to hear this, so, turns out he's actually a character in Cyberpunk lore.
Mhm.
Called Johnny Silverhands.
That would be a Keanu Reeves name in a movie.
Right?
Johnny Silverhands, everybody.
Johnny Mnemonic. Fucking John Wick.
Hilarious enough, the only one that does not follow the John trend is the Bill
Bill
and
and
Ted.
Ted, yeah.
Yeah, he's just Ted.
But yeah, so he's actually a character from Cyberpunk lore.
That's amazing.
So it actually comes out on April 16th. Which is a lot sooner than I thought we were going to get it.
Considering that we have not gotten much except for the trailers that we see during E3 for it,
Mm-hmm.
it definitely is kind of a surprise to see that it's coming out so soon. But either way, though, that game, if that game lives up to the hype it's been getting, that is probably going to be one of the runners for top 5 game of the year.
Yeah, for next year.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So then they, like, it took a turn in
Yeah.
the opposite direction.
You guys peaked, and then we
Oh,
came,
no. Some of these games look pretty good. They showed off a new indie game called Spiritfarer,
which looks interesting for what we've been
which
seeing.
you build a houseboat.
Which I love that idea of that.
It looks like a typical indie game. Looks right up my alley. I don't think we got a release date from it, though.
No. But I was only saying, like, they kind of peaked as soon as Keanu Reeves came on stage. After
Yeah,
that,
it's hard
kinda,
to, like, ride that after that.
Yeah, that's hard to top at that point. So that's kind of why I'm saying it goes down a little bit, but very slowly it goes.
And then they finally showed fucking Battletoads.
Which, for a lot of people, they're actually not excited for it. I've been seeing online. A lot of people are actually not happy with the art choices for it.
I don't mind it because it looks like a Saturday morning cartoon, which is super, like, Battletoads style.
Yeah,
but out of all the series to revive, you revive Battletoads?
Well, they did bring back one thing with Battletoads, that's that we all dread, the fucking sewer level. But instead it's not a sewer level, and instead of being at a side angle and having to hope to God you have the right reaction time, you're driving straight at him, so you have to actually be like, ah!
And they just announced it's going to be 3-player co-op. But that's it. Like,
yeah, there's always been 3 of them,
We still didn't get a release date.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. We've always only had the 3 characters, so.
Yeah. And then they announced Legend of Wright, which is like Yoshi, like, it's a comic book / Yoshi's Crafted World RPG. Like, things get drawn in, like, in a notebook, but then things get turned into it's weird. I don't really know how to explain it.
I didn't really understand, like, when I saw it, I was actually honestly confused sitting there, like, I don't know, like, how to really try to explain this one, really.
Yeah, and it's coming out sometime next year. They didn't give us anything.
Yeah, that was kind of thing from a lot of Microsoft stuff.
But it sounded like some Dragon Quest-ass music.
But, I mean, that sounded cool and everything, but at the same minute, though, it's like, a lot of Microsoft stuff seems like, it's coming out, we just don't have a date for them yet.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Well, and I'll talk about it a little bit later, why I think that is.
Yeah.
So, now, the indie block.
No, you mean the quick round?
I'm trying to debate if I want to do this
Lightning
like
round.
I did it last year, and just lightning round this shit.
We're probably better off doing that, because that's all they give you in that indie block is a lightning round.
Yeah, so some of these games are actually out on Steam, some of these games are coming to Xbox, and just, like, are making the port over.
Yeah, which
Like,
is good.
Yeah, but, so some of these games are already out, and some of these games aren't.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't practice this like I did last time.
Nope, that's fine, though.
Dead Stack Drive, Iconfell, Lord of the Rings Living Card Game, Pathologic 2, Supermarket Shriek, which that one actually looked like fun. After Party Tabs, Good Life, Crosscode, Killer Queen Black, Blazing Chrome, Secret Neighbor, Night Call, Totem Teller, Star of Renegades, Creature in the Well, Riverbond, Into the End, Felix the Reaper, and Undermine.
Well done, without any practice. Round of applause, everybody.
Actually, the only one that looked interesting was Supermarket Shriek.
It honestly looked interesting. That's the only one that actually really got my attention. Everything else
Also,
was like, okay.
Secret Neighbor looks like another sequel. Yeah, it looks like a sequel to Hello Neighbor or whatever the fuck it was called.
It was Hello Neighbor, so.
Oh, cool. Killer Queen Black was originally on the Switch last year and is now getting ported to Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
And Felix the Reaper kind of looked interesting. You like basically play like this really fat, goofy looking like Grim Reaper, and he's like dancing around and shit.
Okay, that actually sounds kind of funny.
I'll show it to you later. It looked pretty cool.
Yeah, I was kind of passing out when trying to watch this conference near the end.
So then they move on to talk about Game Pass.
Yeah, this is actually pretty big.
So they announced Bartman. Simpsons.
Nope.
Is that right? Was that Bart's superhero persona was Bartman?
Yeah, Bartman.
Yeah. So they announced Batman Arkham Knight, Metro Exodus, Hollow Knight, and the Borderlands collection.
Which is pretty big.
And that came out, Sunday.
Yeah, so
they're out now.
Mm-hmm. So get on that, guys, if you want those.
Then they announced the PC Game Pass, which we all knew was coming.
We did, yes. But
did I call that one? I don't think I wrote it down.
Yeah, I don't think you called it a PC Gaming Pass. So that was one thing
we had seen it. It leaked like the day before.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time they get it rolling, they actually said by August they're gonna have 100 games on there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me. And then they're actually starting off with the Master Chief Collection, and they're starting with Reach.
Hallelujah.
So hopefully by the time they launch that, it'll come out to Xbox, so we can play Reach.
I know. I mean, I still got my 360, and I still got my old copy of Reach. Too many hours in high school, doo-dah, doo-dah.
The only game I played on the Xbox 360 when we had our Xbox 360 was the Crash game. I was like, I can't remember the name of it, and I should have looked it up. But it was the
controlling the monsters one.
Yeah, you ride the monsters and shit.
Yeah, I can't remember.
And it wasn't Cortex. I don't think was the villain. It might have been Engine.
Either way, it was definitely a different route for it, and a lot of people were not big fans of it.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, but again, I have my old 360 for all my old games I still love. So
they opened up the beta.
Yeah.
For it.
Mm-hmm.
And they announced Metro Exodus, Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5, Ark, Prey, Wolfenstein 2, Tomb Raider, and it's all for about $10 a month.
On that note as well, since you brought Metro Exodus, They got that away from the Epic Games Store.
It's not the first one they've gotten away from the Epic. No, that was Outer Wilds. Why do people need the main thing so fucking close together? They got another big one too, though.
But the fact of the matter is they're getting things out of their clutches, which I'm appreciative of right now.
So, they also announced Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which is for console, PC, and you get Xbox Live. Xbox Gold Live Gold.
And they're offering like some special deal during E3. Like I don't think it's still valid at this point.
Yeah, they were offering for $1.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if that's still valid or not. Don't quote me on that. But if it is,
it might have been for a week.
But if that's the case, and by the time this comes out tonight, if I'm lucky on my editing, then yeah, you guys could probably get on that if you have an Xbox One laying around.
You're seeing this too, right?
Yeah, I am. I'm seeing.
Oh, it's Devolver.
But that
makes a lot
explains
more
a lot.
sense. All right. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
We basically saw what the equivalent of like gummy Teletubbies.
Gummy Teletubbies or the rabbits got like a new upgraded into like being colored creatures.
Yeah, it's there's a giant chicken, and I don't know. All right, moving on.
Yeah.
So then they announced Flight Simulator.
It's
Flight Simulator.
Yeah, if you guys want to like go fly a plane, here you go. Just don't crash like a lunatic.
Age of Empires 2 remastered. So they're putting in 4K. They're redoing the audio. There's a new campaign for like Mongolia, so Last of the Khans.
Right.
And it's coming out this fall.
Nice.
Now, I have a lot of good memories of Age of Empires. It's like the first computer game I played.
Age of Empires is a very classic one for a lot of people, so.
Yeah, I don't think I could get into it now. I'm not super into that RTS style, but...
No, but for someone like me, I could probably get some really good joy out of that one, considering my love for, like, StarCraft.
It looked really good. Like, you remember when they remastered StarCraft 1? What was that, last year?
What? That was last year, I believe.
It looks kind of like that, where they kind of kept some of the 8-bittiness, but it's up-resed.
Which I appreciate that, though.
Yeah.
I think that's actually fun for those kind of games.
So then they announced Wasteland 3 from inXile, who's one of their game studios.
Mm-hmm.
It was a super funny trailer. Like, it was, like, comedic and sarcastic.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently that's not the tone the game's taking.
Hmm.
Like, it's supposed to be super dark like Wasteland normally is supposed to be.
Okay, interesting.
It might be up your alley. It looks sort of a game you would play. I don't give a shit, so.
Fair. Also, for that game we just saw, I have a better description of what to explain it was. Gang Beasts.
Totally Gang Beasts. You're totally right. But anyway, meanwhile, hi, Zeke. So next they picked up Xbox picked up another studio.
That was a pretty big pickup.
First of all, the guy's name was Matt Booty.
Poor buddy. Poor guy.
We're 12.
You know that guy probably got picked on in high school a little bit.
And they picked up Double Fine.
Which is pretty big.
Which, by the way, that brain shirt I mentioned earlier
it's
for Psychonauts.
So they officially confirmed a Psychonauts 2.
No, they've already confirmed Psychonauts 2. It was a crowdfunded game.
Yeah, so
We already knew it was coming, but the fact that now they have Xbox money behind it means it'll be better. And so yeah, Psychonauts 2. It looks like Psychonauts.
I have never played Psychonauts. I've seen people speedrun it though. Please, for the love of God, bring back the Milkman.
I have it. You need to play it.
I know I do, but the fact of the matter is the Milkman needs to come back.
It's right up your... I mean, again, it's a platformer, but it's a trippy platformer, and I love it.
Yeah, that game's not for the the
faint of heart.
Yeah, the faint of heart. No, like
I can't play it much anymore because of my motion sickness. Like, unless I have a shit ton of Dramamine nearby, I can't play it. But
yeah.
You would enjoy it because it's kooky. Raz is a great protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so then they announced Lego Star Wars.
Which I mean, cool. Here's
Well, they announced that it's going to be all 9 episodes.
Yeah, so pretty much here's the original 6 from all the past ones, and plus here's episodes.
Because they released 7. I don't think they ever released a game for 8.
I don't think they did either. And 9, when is episode 9 even coming out?
This year, I think.
There's not been a lot for it, so.
I think it's the end of the year, like they normally do.
Okay, so.
They're gonna get that sweet Christmas money.
Man, we always do.
Unless you're a gamer, in which case you're gonna be poor because all these games are fucking coming out.
Now you went and saw Avengers Endgame a ton of times, so
Yeah.
there's also that too.
But yeah, and that's coming out next year because you played the original Lego games, right? Like,
Damn, Skippy.
did they? And I might be wrong here. Didn't they release 1, 2, and 3 before 3 came out?
I don't think they did actually. I think they actually released it. The Lego Star Wars game that I remember came out. I got it for my old school Game Boy Advance for episodes
God.
1, 2, and 3 on it.
God, how did that control?
very poorly. I don't even know how the hell I even finished that game, but I did.
Good question.
I think I actually played that game so much, but I got to the point where I made one stupid purchase with all my studs, and I just stopped playing because I was so angry at myself because I accidentally bought a character that I didn't mean to buy because I was saving up for like one of the big ones at the end. It's like, no! And I just never touched it again. Because again, those studs are a nightmare to get in that mobile game.
Yeah, fair.
Well, Game Boy game, but still. But episode 3 had already come out, but if anything, it had come out that year when they released the Lego one. For
I thought they released it before episode 3 came out, by like a month or two.
I honestly don't know if they did or not. If they did...
That's something I'll look up later.
Yeah, like, I can't remember. But I played the original 1, 2, 3 on my Game Boy Advance. Then I got one for 4, 5, 6, which was on the GameCube. And then later on, for the 360, I picked up the full collection of episodes 1
Oh,
through
see,
6.
I got it for the GameCube. Like, 1, 2, and 3 I played on the GameCube, and God, that game is way too much fun.
Because, again, like, they released 2 different sets. So one was the new trilogy, one was the original trilogy.
And then they eventually released them together.
And that's the one I have for my 360 now.
Yeah.
And that's them all together, which I love having it all together.
So we'll eventually get this one, too.
Yeah, because now we need to suffer through playing as Kylo Ren and all of them.
Yeah.
We have to suffer through playing episode 8.
Huh?
We have to suffer through playing through episode 8 now, you know that, right?
Yeah. Alright. We need to keep this moving.
I'm sorry.
We're still on one conference.
There's a lot in each conference this year.
Yeah, so they announced the name for Project DBZ, which is Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. And it looks like you're going to play through... At least from what we saw, it was definitely Raditz and Frieza.
We saw Raditz and Frieza. I think we saw Vegeta and Nappa as well, but...
Yeah, no, I mean, like, the Raditz arc and then the Frieza arc.
Like, I would be kind of shocked if they didn't go all the way up to the Buu Saga, or even a little bit into Super. I'd be kind of shocked by that.
I don't think they'll go into Super. Because it's Dragon Ball Z, I think they're going to focus on the original anime.
Which I could believe.
Which is okay with me.
They could probably do Super as like a DLC thing for later then, probably.
Yeah, or have another game for it.
Yeah, but I would be kind of shocked if they didn't go all the way up to Buu. But all I know is that from our concern for what we saw of that one, it looks a lot like Xenoverse Combat.
Yeah, we'll see what that is. So that's coming out early next year. I don't think there, again, wasn't a release date.
Yeah, so...
They showed an indie game called 12 Minutes. So it's like you're basically stuck in like the same 12 minutes. You're stuck in a time loop. Apparently this game has been in development for forever.
It's just because it seems like there's a lot of different outcomes that can happen if you're not careful.
Well, somebody mentioned they saw this game at like a game jam in 2013.
Which is interesting.
Yeah. So moving on, another indie game called Way to the Woods. Looks like post-apocalyptic Bambi.
Yeah, Mama has some glowing antlers going on.
This one comes out next year, and this one's really cool because it was developed by a teenager.
Wasn't they like 17 or something?
17.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I love the comments from like people on the internet go like, why do you have to make your game look so damn good? I'm freaking in my 30s and I can't make shit this good.
So then they showed Gears 5. Yeah, that was weird.
That was probably the weirdest Gears 5 trailer.
Some Matrix-ass shit going on in that AMV.
Yeah.
They announced the subtitle. I don't mean to interrupt, but we gotta keep this moving.
I know.
They announced it's gonna be called Bound by Blood.
Yep. With a special appearance by the Terminator.
And we'll get there.
Okay, sorry.
It comes out September 10th, which is super early for a Gears game.
Mm-hmm.
But you can get it 4 days early if you get the Game Pass Ultimate.
Which makes sense. They want to sell that.
They're doing multiplayer tests in July. They're going to show hard mode at Gamescom in August.
Mm-hmm.
They showed a new mode called Escape, where you set a bomb in the hive and you run your ass out.
Yeah, literally, I really don't know what game type to consider that as a reference, but yeah, just literally plant and run.
Yeah, weird ass trailer. They're playing some remix of Crazy Train because of course they did.
Yeah.
Then they had the camera go from the top of the stage. They opened up the stage, it went down, and it seriously looked like some scenes from Alien down there.
Yeah, you can see like actually like the pods and everything that the locusts would put people in.
So it turns out you can actually build hives. So you could set it up so people have to try to fight through your hive, kind of like a stage builder.
Which is cool, actually. I think it's actually a very cool
They had
idea.
WWE people play the mode.
For
that
no
was
reason.
Fucking odd. And then there was a pre-order bonus of the fucking Terminator. Why?
Because we've had the conversation, there's that movie coming out, so.
But why? In Gears. We'll
Well-
get to it because the Terminator will show up again.
Yeah, this is the year of Terminator, everybody.
But why?
It's just so stupid seeing him, like, his foot crushes a skull and him just holding a chainsaw gun. Just
That
like,
would have been more.
why?
It would have been more apt in Doom. Surprisingly, it won't be in Doom.
It would have made more sense for the Terminator to be there, but
So-
apparently, no, he's hanging out in the Gears world.
So woohoo! If you care about Gears, it's coming.
I'm wanting to picture someone trying to chainsaw the Terminator, just that failing.
That would be neat.
It'd be hilarious.
So they announced a new Elite controller.
I mean, it looks smexy. I'm not gonna deny
You
that.
can adjust thumbstick sensitivity. It's got it can add more sensitive triggers.
Yep.
A rubber grip around the handle.
Which I miss those.
It's Bluetooth compatible, and has a charging dock, and you can set different profiles.
It's crazy what that charging life is for, though.
Yeah, 40 hours.
I want to call bullshit until I see it for myself.
I guarantee it's bullshit, but we'll get there.
Yep.
Then they showed Dying Light 2.
There's not much that was shown, but...
Well, they confirmed that everybody in that settlement is infected.
Oh.
And
that makes that a lot more interesting.
And it looks like Dying Light.
But that keeps a very interesting twist to the story, because you have to be really careful then on your choices if everyone's infected already.
Yep, and that comes out next spring. So then they moved to Forza Horizon, which I was wrong. They did not announce Forza 8. I tried to follow the pattern. It would have made sense.
No, we got something way out of left field, and we both were like, huh?
They announced a Lego merging thing.
For Forza 4.
For Forza Horizon 4.
They literally had
they stop. They're like having a race, and they stop. And all of a sudden, you just see a bunch of Lego cars and hear everything is awesome. We're not going to keep singing that because I don't want to be DMCA'd.
Yep.
But then I'm just like, what the shit? And then they showed the new McLaren made out of Legos.
Which, honestly, that is actually really fucking cool.
But
that was, like, the weirdest direction they could have gone with. It's like, okay, Forza, I guess you guys didn't need another year to make a game, but why Lego?
And the expansion actually comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, so...
On the 13th. So, if you care about that, good for you. I'm trying to keep this moving.
I know, that was just confusing.
They showed Gears Pop. It looks like a dumb Clash Royale game. You can pre-order it now.
Yeah, woohoo.
We don't give a fuck. State of Decay 2 Heartland. It's a new expansion. There's only 2 storylines, and it looks like they're going to converge at some point.
Makes sense, though.
But cool. I'm glad I got more.
For those of you who enjoy it, awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad that studio's actually getting work.
Mm-hmm.
And then they announced Phantasy Star Online 2. Actually, let me look this up just to give you an idea.
As we have watched our streamer holding a cat in his arms.
Yeah, that was fun. Phantasy Star Online 2 came out in 2012. And now it's coming out to Xbox.
Oh my god, what is happening?
They also announced it's free to play.
Oh, what is happening?
And it's not even out now. It comes out next year.
What's the shit from coming out back in 2012 getting stuff now?
You're a tad late on the Phantasy Star train. So then they announced they announced partnership with Smilegate, which is a company in South Korea. It's called Crossfire X. It's an online first-person shooter. Apparently it's already on PC. It's going to come to console, and it's for 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, now we're to a game I give a shit about, Tales of Arise.
This was out of left field for us, but...
It looks like Tales, but just on a fancier engine.
Yeah.
That's okay with me.
Yeah.
And there was some anime shit, because guy reaches into a girl's chest and pulls out a flaming sword.
And also a stereotypical anime character wearing an eye patch.
Yeah, there's some anime-ass shit, but I don't care. It's a Tales game.
Yeah, so you're getting...
No release date. It's 2020.
Womp, womp, womp.
They showed some shit on Borderlands, which you give a shit about.
Yeah,
it comes out September 13th. I'm trying to keep this going, babe.
I know.
We'll have a Borderlands episode where you can...
explain what I wanted to explain.
You can explain what you want to explain there.
Yeah.
But that also might potentially be spoilers, so maybe it's not best we talk about it here?
Yeah, maybe. It depends on how you look at it. If you've seen the trailer, they don't really spoil too much, because it's also been in all the old games as well.
Yeah, but you mentioned you had a theory about that, and we'll save that.
Yeah.
So, the Borderlands 2 DLC for Lilith and the Fight for Sanctuary
That's actually out now,
and
it's for free if you have Borderlands 2.
Yeah, so if you already own Borderlands 2, I know for sure for the Handsome Jack collection. I'm not so sure, actually, for the 360, but probably.
I would be kind of shocked if it wasn't.
Same. But yeah, if you own Borderlands 2, it's yours.
If anything, backwards compatibility on the Xbox One could probably do that.
That's a mood. So then they announced a game from Software and George R.R. Martin, and it looks Soulsy.
It really does.
So it's called Elden Ring. It looks Soulsy. It's from Software. What did you expect?
Yeah, you're pretty much getting what you're paying for at that point.
We're finally almost at the end.
Also, no complaint about difficulty settings. Let's nip that in the butt now.
That'll be a talk for another time. I could go on to a rant about it, but that's for another time, not now.
I know.
Oh, hi, JP.
Yeah, with a cat.
God, that cat is fucking fluffy.
Reminds me of my cat.
Not quite as fluffy as Atticus, but pretty fucking fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, anyway,
yeah.
I gotta take the cat off. So they announced Project xCloud, which we saw.
Yeah.
It's hands-on at E3. It's console streaming, but it sounds like you could turn your Xbox into a private server.
Which is interesting.
Which could help.
It could really help, actually. But we'll see.
There's a beta coming out in October. That's all we got.
We'll just see what happens.
And then they announced Project Scarlet, which is for sure the next generation console. The entire reveal trailer is just basically the Scorpio trailer.
And the things they're saying, I cannot trust.
So apparently, they're using a custom AMD Navi Ryzen 2 type of processor. The things I'm going to say to you are going to go over your head a little bit.
Be ready, everybody. I'm about to go blank here for the next probably 2 minutes.
Hi, I work in IT.
I'm doing the blank look.
So it's supposed to reduce load times, 4 times more powerful than the One X. GDDR6 RAM, which that's fast.
Yeah.
Guaranteed 120 FPS, ray tracing, a custom-made solid state that they can now use as VRAM.
Yep.
And they mentioned 4 gens of content, so I wonder if they're going to do full backwards compatibility.
Which would be amazing if they can do that, but again, with the Game Pass...
They also announced their last... sorry to interrupt, but they also announced their last bit of backwards compatibility for the Xbox One and the Xbox 360, but...
Also, I'm not sure, I may have accidentally blacked out, but wasn't there something that you mentioned about 8K involving with that as well?
Yeah, they're also confirming 8K, which the PS5 is also doing now, but we haven't locked in 60 frames per second. How the fuck are you going to lock in 120?
And that's the part that breaks me, and I cannot trust a single word they're saying, or some
I care more about frame rate than I do, what's the word I'm looking for?
You care?
Definition.
Yeah.
I care more about the frame rate because, like, if you go from pretty solid 45 to 2.
Us playing Far Cry 5, everybody.
Me playing Atelier Furus. There are 3 areas where the frame rate just goes to shit.
To the shit of levels that we saw in Far Cry 5 that one era.
We're going single digits. Like, you could see it physically slow down.
And it was like...
Like, I'll get to the... Like, if I have time, I'll show you. But it's bad.
Yeah.
And it's coming out to holiday 2020.
Which we kind of assumed that was going to be the case, but...
And then the launch game for Project Scarlet is Halo Infinite.
The problem is, Halo is my favorite series. 343, who have done some damage, I want this to be redeemable, but you guys gave me nothing in that trailer. All you gave me was seeing Master Chief and the original Halo 1.
Yeah, like the original Halo theme.
Like the very original. That's all you gave me.
We saw nothing. But I'm also not expecting to see much. And so the reason why I don't think we saw much for this year for Xbox is because they're gearing towards Scarlet next year.
And my fear is that this will probably be a launch title for Scarlet. My only fear is, will they make it also for the Xbox One, which I'm not sure if they will.
Well, if they're talking about backwards compatibility, but again, they also understand that not everybody's going to get a Scarlet at launch.
Especially if all these features are true, I'm seeing probably base $700, $800 probably starting.
So we got nothing for Fable 4.
Which, again, that's 2 years in a row now.
We got nothing new from Obsidian, although we did do some research into, like, what we talked about last week of PoE, and it is coming to console. It's just delayed a bit.
Which we picked that game up, and that is actually a lot of fun, and I will probably be talking more about that in the future.
We got nothing from Compulsion Games, which was We Happy Few, and we got nothing from their initiative thing that they were touting about.
Honestly, I figured we were going to get something from them, but nothing.
Yeah. So, how would you rate that conference in
a number ranking system?
In a number.
In a number ranking system, I would probably be willing to give them... I'm going to give them a 6. Reason being because you had some good stuff there, like one...
Keanu Reeves.
And that's the reason why. Keanu Reeves kind of saves a lot of that from going lower, because Cyberpunk looks really good. They've announced some other really cool stuff for, like, the indie blog. We got Ori, we got stuff for Borderlands. I got my Halo fix, but again, not really got the fix at the same time. So I give them a 6.
Okay.
I'm going to be very cynical on these guys this year.
So my rating, as you know, I don't do a rating system. I do something a little bit more sarcastic. Is paying $20 for a really good pizza, but you only get 3 slices out of it.
And that's why I feel like a 6 is accurate.
It looked good. There was a lot of shit that looked promising for Xbox, and I'm a Sony gamer, so the fact that I'm saying that is huge.
Yeah.
But we didn't get enough of it.
You didn't get enough of it, nor was there
And there was 0 gameplay.
And that's why I was probably the most upset, though, is because there was no gameplay. It was games, trailers.
They showed some gameplay in the Ori trailer and some of the indie games, but it's not like any of it was live on the stage.
And that was the thing. For, like, some games right now, like, people want that. I was expecting that for Gears 5. I was expecting something from Cyberpunk on gameplay, at least. But that's the thing, though. There was just trailer after trailer after trailer. They did the one good thing of keeping up with the games, but just there was nothing live, which kind of upset me. It was almost
style over substance.
And that's kind of what bit them in the butt.
I've been watching a lot of Great British Bake Off, so.
But it was a very disappointing thing to just have that happen.
Okay. That's Xbox. That only took us 30 minutes.
again, there's aside the fact that there were less conferences, there was a lot of shit they showed.
All right, Bethesda.
This is where I want to die, dude.
You didn't even fucking watch it. I don't want to fucking hear it out of you. I sat through this.
I know, but from what you've told me, from what I've seen on the internet, yikes.
So they started off with their, their fucking ego stroking, dick stroking. Hey, the gamers are great. That seemed to be the theme of E3 this year is, hey, the gamers are all awesome. Thank you for giving us a job.
Yeah, because they realized that they've been screwing up hard this year, then since Sony isn't really there to bail them out of, like, a situational scenario, they're like, hey, thanks for liking our stuff.
So they bring Todd Howard out.
Thank you for not having another weird Andrew WK show in at the start. That was
come on, Andrew WK's awesome.
I know, but that just did not fit the vibe of a Bethesda conference.
It totally didn't land. So
especially
they bring
Party Hardy.
They bring Party Hard.
Party Hard. I don't know.
Party Hardy?
Yes, I did say that.
That sounds like a polka version of Party Hard.
Weird Al, get on this.
So they bring Todd Howard out, and I don't even know how to describe this. He opens up with like, thank you guys for all of your excitement, although judging by some of the excitement of last year, I'm surprised y'all are still here.
Yeah, because
of fucking Fallout!
He pretty much admitted the fact, yeah, we kind of screwed the pooch on that one.
So I'm just gonna move on, because I have a lot of things to say that I could say about Todd Howard, but I think we kind of hit on that last week.
We did, yeah.
So, they showed that the full version of Blades is out.
Yep.
Instead of being in this beta shit, which don't even get me started on Blades. It's coming to they're working on the arena mode, and it came out to the Switch.
Which I think for the Switch that's actually a good
call. It's also free on the Switch, and there's crossplay between like different phones and the Switch.
Like honestly, I think for the Switch the Blades probably belongs, but
totally. And then they showed shit for Fallout 76. By the way, Todd Howard didn't show shit for 76. He brought 2 other people out to show shit over 76.
Because he knows there's a mob waiting for him probably involved in that game.
They're bringing NPCs.
Something you should have done in the first place.
And so the whole new expansion is called Wastelanders. Mm-hmm. It'll be free this fall for everybody who has the game. Full dialogue trees and new quests and all that. There's a free trial of 76 that's going all week.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really care.
Neither do I, so there's that.
And then they announced new game mode coming this winter.
Who wants to take a wild guess of the theme of last year, what it is this time?
If you guessed Battle Royale, you win!
Yep, 52-man Battle Royale. Winner becomes the overseer of Vault 52.
Yep, and that's why it's 52 player. Get it? That's why they call it Vault 52.
I get it!
Yeah, it's...
them being clever.
So then they announced a new game. We didn't get anything on this game, but it looks cool. So it's called Ghostwire Tokyo. And Ikumi Nakamura came out to kind of introduce it. And she's the most adorable woman on the planet. You cannot convince me otherwise.
This woman must be protected.
To give you an idea of what she's done, she did the background art for Okami. She helped do Bayonetta. And she was creative director for Evil Within.
From what I have seen and from what you have shown me, that's just a woman who just is loving life.
It helped because it gave, like, some personality to the show.
Something Bethesda I don't think ever really has at their conferences like that.
Not anymore.
No, it's been years since we've had anything like that from them.
Yeah. So, it basically, I guess, it's an action-adventure game, and you have to try to figure out why people are disappearing in Tokyo.
All I know is from what you've shown me for some of the drawings that she's done for that game, oh, mama.
Yeah. Well, some of the art she did for Evil Within. So... the obligatory ESO section.
We all knew it was coming.
They're doing a thing for Elsewhere. They had to add more servers, apparently.
Which kind of shocked me, in all honesty.
And then they apparently added a Necromancer.
Again, that's a cool idea. I wish that was there in there sooner. But in all honesty, I was kind of surprised they need more servers, though, because I wasn't sure if that many people were still playing or not.
Yeah.
Apparently there is.
They showed some CG shit. So then they also announced that there's going to be a story-based... there's a story-based thing for the Dragon Guard coming in Q4. Mm-hmm. And then they're also going to have a dungeon DLC called Scalebreaker. So there's that.
Yeah, so...
And then they ruined Commander Keen, which you're too young to know what the hell that is.
Yep, you asked me about this one too when I came home that night.
Commander Keen was id Software's first video game. And they ruined it by making it into a mobile game. It'll be out for iOS and Android, and it's soft launching this summer. I'm just going to move on.
Yeah, there's not much else there on that.
I'm just going to move on.
Before she gets very upset.
Fallout Shelter. Congratulations, a lot of people downloaded it. I don't know anybody who's still playing it.
I mean, it's Fallout Shelter. If you guys still play it, cool. But yeah,
I had fun with it.
yeah.
They showed off some things for Elder Scrolls Legends. They're announcing a new expansion for Moons of Elsewhere. And the CG, the trailer they showed was dumb except for the drunk mud crab. That is amazing.
That's amazing, and for a lot of people, that is a mood of life.
They announced DLC for Rage 2. That's still a thing.
Yep.
Apparently they're going to be dropping stuff weekly in that game. Cool.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not sure what all you're gonna do with that, but
I was watching Giant Bomb go through this conference, and they like showed Rage 2, and they were like, I've never forgotten a game I've played more than when I played Rage.
ha!
Yeah, it's just your generic first-person shooter.
It's not memorable.
Then they did the Wolfenstein block. They still announced the thing that you're gonna do at Cyberpilot, that VR thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can still hack Nazi stuff, so that's a thing. And it's coming out in July.
Yeah.
And they showed some stuff on Youngblood. So it's multiplayer. So it's co-op.
Yeah.
So you can actually play with somebody during the game because you're playing as BJ's two daughters.
Which makes sense that you'd want to be able to have to co-op for that one. And honestly, that actually might be fun for us.
I don't do first-person shooters.
Unless you can control the sensitivity.
Unless I can control the sensitivity more, which has become less and less of a thing lately.
Which is annoying. Get on putting that back in games, guys.
So it takes place 2 decades after New Colossus, which I believe was the second one.
Mm-hmm.
And you're playing in Nazi France. So it turns out you did free America from the Nazi tyranny. You just didn't free the rest of the nation, rest of the world from Nazi tyranny.
So now you're having to take the steps of the daughters kind of continuing his mission.
Yep,
sense.
and they totally just like went full on 80s with it.
Which
so
is fine.
yeah, and that comes out July 26th. Arcane Leon showed off a new game called Deathloop. You're basically playing as 2 rivals, and you have to kill each other. Otherwise, you just keep getting stuck in this time loop. It's called Deathloop. It looks really cool.
It just makes me think of the Tom Cruise movie.
Oh yeah, the one we watched at Tamarack.
Yeah, where every time if he dies, he has to relive the day again. But if he doesn't die, then he loses the ability to go back.
Yep, it's dumb. So then they showed a series of software, and they're calling it Orion, and it's supposed to help game streaming, like not Twitch, but like Stadia.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to optimize all the game engines. Unreal 4, Snowdrop, all the other ones.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be 20% faster per frame and 40% less bandwidth speed. Cool. And she was legitimately playing Doom 2016 on a phone. And to kind of show it off, which is pretty cool.
That's impressive.
And I don't care.
Yeah.
I hate this whole streaming thing.
It's annoying. I understand that.
And then they showed Doom. And it looks like Doom.
If you like Doom, you got more Doom.
It looks like Doom.
Go kill yourself some demons.
They announced a new game mode. It's called Battle Mode. Real fucking original. So it's basically a 1v2 mode. 2 people control different demons and they play differently.
Mm-hmm.
Like each demon has its own playstyle. And then one person plays as Doom Guy.
Yeah, I think the way that you explained it to me, it was kind of an idea of like almost like a tower defense. Like it was
If you're the demons, it's a tower defense game. And if you're Doom Guy, it's a first-person shooter.
Yeah, but I think like the best way is like both sides have a different strategy. One is strategy, the other is skill.
Yeah, that's actually how they phrased it as well. Soundtrack sounds like Doom. It comes out November 22nd, and the collector's edition you can get the helmet.
Which I mean that's a cool helmet.
And that's it. That's how they closed it.
Bethesda kept it pretty straightforward on that one. There wasn't a lot to.
Yeah, so since you didn't see it, just going based off what I told you.
I would probably give him like a 4.
Yeah, it was a pretty dumb fucking conference. They like had nothing. And it was just ego stroking themselves.
Ego stroking and kind of a very half-assed apology.
So my rating for this is a train wreck you just can't quite look away from.
It's quite fascinating to watch that train burn.
Yep. Alright, moving on. Ubisoft.
Now, this is where I actually was finally able to sit in and actually watch it. I actually got a surprise day off, so.
Yep. So, they started off showing off, I guess they're doing an Assassin's Creed Symphony tour.
Which was honestly actually a really
Yes.
cool opening. That was actually a lot of fun.
Awesome.
And then they decided, like...
Oh, good, we're on the Superman 64 section of fucking Sonic 06.
Yeah, we see a streamer pretty much putting himself through hell, as we mentioned earlier. But, yeah, they were doing, like, a symphony tour for all these Assassin's Creed music. Honestly, it looked really good. It's just almost the fact that Ubisoft then decided to dismiss it, being like, oh, that wasn't the opening to the show. Now we have the opening to the show. It's like, that was the opening. That was beautiful. And then you guys just kind of shot all over it.
Yeah, but Assassin's Creed has some good music. The fact that they open up with a symphony is just like right up my alley because I'm a fucking pleb like that.
Well, the music was just beautiful.
Yeah,
the miking was the only problem that we had.
Yeah, they needed to mic that one a little bit better. It's really hard to do like live music without miking it a certain way.
And that's kind of the challenge that they didn't really seem to prepare for correctly.
So then they announced Watch Dogs Legion, or more accurately, Amazon UK announced Watch Dogs Legion.
Oh, if that game had not been spoiled, that would have been such an amazing show off.
So they actually showed like gameplay in the engine, and it wasn't live, but they actually showed shit, which is up my alley.
Which we honestly think this may be the thing that saves Watch Dogs.
So they were showing the game, which by the way, you totally missed this, when he was analyzing one guy under when you can analyze now and recruit people, and that's the punchline to this.
Yeah.
We were analyzing a guy. It said just may die randomly.
Really?
Under one guy it just says may die randomly.
The thing is, I think I actually had to step out for something because I think I was going to go charge my phone or something. So I had to step out.
Yes, you probably missed that part.
Yeah. But,
so apparently, what was the name of the AI? Bagley?
I think it was Bagley. Yes.
Bagley sounds like Sean from Assassin's Creed.
It does, yeah. But
it totally sounds like fucking Sean.
It does. And the thing is, though, is that it's a very snarky AI.
It's a very snarky AI, which is right up my alley.
And the fact that it's what communicates, which pretty much connects everybody that's part of this.
Yeah, everybody that's part of DedSec. There's permadeath.
Which I appreciate
Like, if you lose a member of your little crew of DedSec, they're dead. You can't call upon them again.
The interesting concept of this game, though, is that you can recruit anybody, which everyone then proceeded to go on just a yelling spree on Twitch and across the internet. Can I recruit the queen?
Well, and more of the reason why people did that is because the next person that they showed after the first guy died is this old 70-year-old grandmother. And she fucking whomped so much ass.
She was a retired assassin.
And she whomped so much ass.
This lady literally just walks up, just very slow and brittly, just like, oh, I'm not gonna do anything, and just gut tases a dude and throws him off a bridge, pretty much.
Yeah.
This woman, and then she's like, oh, come on, Bensley, let's go off to the market.
So apparently everybody in this game is simulated, and you can just recruit anybody you want for DedSec. So, like, the mission they were showing, they were trying to recruit somebody who had experience taking down drones. Mm-hmm. So they showed multiple different parts of this mission where you play as multiple different people trying to get this kid who knows how to take down a drone, which is super neat, and this is, like, I think you're right. This could help Watch Dogs significantly, because one had the right tone, but the gameplay was shit.
Yeah, and
2 had the right gameplay, but the tone was weird.
So this may be the hybrid of kind of like that darker
tone.
Although
the woman riding the drone was a little weird.
That was a bit much. And again, a lot of people may think an old granny retired assassin may be a bit much.
I'm on that.
Which, again, I honestly would just recruit an entire army of old people and just watch that go down. I think it'd be hilarious.
And so the game comes out March 6th.
Again, a lot sooner than
I need to see a little bit more about the game. Oh, God. Yeah. I need to see a little bit more about the game before I completely jump on it, but it looks really neat, and this looks like this is kind of what we kind of needed from Watch Dogs.
I think if they had started off Watch Dogs being this way, that probably would have been received a little better, probably. Since it's the third installment, there's probably going to be a lot of skepticism from a lot of people going in here, especially since you're taking away the main character that we've had in the last 2, which honestly I'm fine with.
There are 2 different main characters, so it's not like it matters.
Okay, I thought it was the same guy.
Oh, no. When did Aiden Pierce become black?
I never saw any play of 2.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I never did. I actually spared myself.
Yeah, no, he's black.
Okay, so...
He's very black.
So, but either way, I feel like this is going to be a better idea for Watch Dogs than what they have done, so...
So, then they brought in, not Charlie Day, the other guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I can't think of the
Can't think of his name, but it's the other guy. The one making... The best way to know if you've watched It's Always Sunny, the one that was helping Charlie make the muscle milk.
The one who, like, is pretty fit and then he gets really fat.
Not the clean-shaven guy, the bearded guy.
I'm trying to think of his character's name in the show right now.
I haven't watched It's Always Sunny in a long time.
I know. That show, if you watch that show, it's good, but it's also, you feel like a horrible human being watching it.
But he's making a show based off of a video game developer right before they launch a big expansion to their MMO.
It's just so funny watching the fact how they introduce him out on the stage was playing the Always Sunny theme.
Me so happy.
We had no idea what was going on. I think we were watching another podcast and their idea was like, oh, the gang makes an MMO. It's like, why as well have just happened, pretty much.
Yeah, so it's basically a fictional studio, and that guy's playing a creative director.
Who has an ego problem.
Yes, a very big ego problem. It's going to be on Apple TV, and it's called Mythic Quest Ravens something.
And they, for some reason, ended the trailer that they showed with shipping off to Boston for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's the guys from Always Sunny, so whatever.
It makes sense up their alley, but the fact of the matter is, it might as well just be added into the Always Sunny universe for how they acted.
Then Rainbow Six Siege.
More Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, 13th season. I'm actually impressed.
Well, and the fact of the matter is, like, what we saw is kind of like doing, like, almost like an MI6 introduction with
I even put in here MI6 looking dickwad.
Yeah, because it's very kind of the idea of, like, here are the 6 guys holding down this fortress.
It's called Operation Phantom Sight, but other than that, I don't know anything about Rainbow Six, so don't ask me.
Neither do I, but from what it looks like here's your basic 6 guys, like, holding down this area, and it's one dude breaking in. So you might have some more overpowered stuff and tools, like weapons and tools to play to get in, so.
Well, I actually think they said it was CIA, not MI6, but...
He pretty much had, like, MI6 on his fucking bulletin vest.
It's basically the same thing. CIA, MI6, it's pretty much the same shit.
Here's your insert Bond character here.
Insert secret operative here.
Yep. But either way, it looked interesting, but I don't know. I don't play Rainbow Six.
Then they announced that Adventure Time's going into Brawlhalla, which, I mean, good that Brawlhalla's getting an update. But...
Also, what the hell? I thought Adventure Time was over, so I was kind of confused to see that.
That's out now.
Yeah.
And then they showed a little bit about Ghost Recon Breakpoint. They had John Bernthal out on stage, and oh my god, the puppy! Yeah. He brought out his, like, pit bull.
So if you guys recognize the actor's name, if you don't, he plays the other sheriff in Walking Dead 2. I mean, not Walking Dead. Yeah, he's the other sheriff in The Walking Dead.
He did Walking Dead, and he was Punisher.
Yeah, he was also the Punisher, and he also played, like, a very small role in Baby Driver.
Yeah, very small role.
But otherwise, that's who it is, but he came out with his little pity puppy.
And that the dog was just chilling there.
Yeah, the dog also just sat there as he's just talking to everybody. It's like, oh yeah, my evil army, you guys have to fight my army, can you guys handle it? And the dog's just kind of sitting there, like, taking a nap.
Yeah, it was really cute.
It was adorable. Like, when the crowd starts cheering, he just kind of pops his head, it's like, oh, what's going on? Okay, back to sleep.
Yeah, I couldn't hear anything because I was too distracted by the dog.
I think everyone was distracted by that dog. It was such a good dog. Even the camera kept going to the dog.
There's gonna be some multiplayer shit because it's Ghost Recon. They announced a community program, and I don't think you remembered this.
I don't.
So it's called Delta Company. And there's 5 different attachments depending on, like, if you're a streamer, if you do fan art, if you do cosplay.
It's a forum post!
Yeah. Game comes out October 4th. I just had a stroke. The beta goes live in September. Mm-hmm. And cool, you get the fucking Terminator!
Again, here's your second Terminator joke. This is the last Terminator thing of the.
I fucking hope. Yeah, I think you're right.
Like, we honestly kept having jokes later on. It's like, oh, is the Terminator gonna be in this game now too?
Yeah.
But either way, it's like it looked interesting. I may look into the beta just for fun though, just to see what's going on.
I think you'd like Ghost Recon. It's kind of sort of up your alley. I don't give a shit. But...
Yeah, but I may look into it for the beta, maybe just for interest purposes, especially just for who's playing the villain.
Yeah. So then they announced a mobile game that's combining all of the Tom Clancy properties.
Yeah, that was...
It's a lane defense game.
Yeah, it was good. The fact that
it's called Tom Clancy's Elite Squad. I don't know when it comes out, and frankly, I don't really care.
I mean, you had shit from Splinter Cell, which surprised the crap out of me.
Yeah, Tom Clancy. That's all in the Clancy universe.
And that's what I mean, though. It's like, it's just, when's the last time you heard of anything of Splinter Cell?
A long time ago.
Exactly. That's why I was kind of shocked that that made it in there, too.
Yeah, well, technically we got Splinter Cell.
Yep, so there you go. If you guys have been wanting that for years.
Just Dance. It's Just Dance. Comes out, I think, November 5th. They actually confirmed that in Nintendo, the release date.
You were a little sad with the Panic at the Disco thing.
Yeah, why use High Hopes, man? I love that song.
And apparently, if you, it's like some kind of contest. They have a chance to win a pair of, like, Just Dance shoes. It's like, okay.
And then the opening thing was, like, they were trying to have, like, this motivational thing from Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights are almost like the attempt of, like, a YouTube rewind.
No, it was definitely, like, Friday Night Lights, because they're, like, they're all in a locker room, and they have a coach. It's like, and you know why we're dancing? It's because, I'm like, what the hell?
I would rather just watch the John Oliver one where he's, like, trying to tell people not to buy into the teams.
Stadiums, yeah. New For Honor event. I totally forgot to look it up, so we're gonna skip it. I meant to look it up.
We were confused as hell.
I wrote here, are we getting zombies, ghosts, the T-virus?
We were so confused because they make it look like feudal Japan, so we're thinking like, oh, where's something that we look at Tom? They look like freaking Mongolians.
Yeah, I forgot to look it up, so I'm just gonna skip it. New Rainbow Six Quarantine, 3-player tactical co-op, comes out early 2020. Apparently it's PvE as opposed to PvP, so.
Still, I don't know how to feel about it.
It's Division 2, typical circle jerk.
Yeah.
The only thing of note is they're finishing up year 1. They're finishing up, like, episode 1. They're wrapping that up early next year.
Episode 2, they're going to be starting soon. They've already announced what episode 3 is going to be. But
Yeah.
very half-assed explain anything of it.
Yeah, we don't know anything. So episode 1, by the way, free week. Tomorrow, so the 13th through the 16th. First one is you're going to the National Zoo in D.C.
Yep. Second one I want to say was the Pentagon.
Second one was the Pentagon, and it's bringing about a new raid. And episode 3, I don't fucking know.
All they said was apparently it's a manhunt. You're chasing
Yeah.
after someone that was part of your own group as for revenge, but the trailer honestly gave us nothing. So
That's coming out early 2020, and they're making a Netflix movie with Jessica Chastain and Jake Gyllenhaal.
which we heard Jake Gyllenhaal's like, oh, that's cool.
Hey, Jake Gyllenhaal's finally getting work again. He's Mysterio. He's gonna be in this movie.
It'll be interesting. I'm not sure how to expect this is gonna go, but we'll find out.
So they announced Uplay Plus, which is just basically Game Pass, and it's $15 a month as opposed to $10.
Which again, we're looking
Ubisoft
at.
does not have enough properties to justify that shit.
Well, one, they don't have they can't justify the cost, nor is anyone else charging that much. They're pretty much
Yeah.
alienating anybody wanting to get in there because they're saying like 100+ games. Like, yeah, but like people only really want to play like 6 or 7 of those.
Yeah. And they're doing a thing with Stadia, so whatever.
Yes.
Then they showed the roller derby game,
Which
with Roller Champions.
I think our best way of describing that is Rocket League with Jet Set Radio Future.
Yep.
Which also looked interesting though.
There's actually a demo going on up until Friday.
Which again, if you guys want to try it, like go ahead.
It actually
looked
looks pretty neat.
Yeah, actually, we may look into that a little bit more.
I don't care.
I know, but it looked kind of interesting though.
And they announced a new game, which is another Assassin's Creed guy doing something that's not Assassin's Creed.
Yarp.
Humankind Odyssey, Humankind, one of those games is made by the old guy, Patrick Desolé, from the old Assassin's Creed games.
Now the thing is, I love the art choice.
Yeah.
That art style is perfect. I love that kind of art
Can
style.
I explain what the game is, though?
Sure, sorry.
So it's based on mythology. It's Greek, and all you see is this Greek soldier about to kick ass on a harpy.
I mean, we also saw like Medusa slithering around too.
We saw it like a Gorgon,
Yeah.
but this Greek soldier about to kick ass on a harpy.
They did too. You see that harpy go flying through a rock.
And so it's called Gods and Monsters, and it comes out February 25th.
So it looked interesting. I love the art
The
style.
art style's gorgeous. It's super Breath of the Wildy.
It really is, because it has like that very painted texture to it. So I'm actually might be interested in this one. So I'm excited.
So what would you give Ubisoft? Because Ubisoft actually had a solid conference.
I'll give him a 7.
My rating is a kid with a complex science project that may or may not work.
And that's a good way of putting it, because a lot of the stuff sounds good on paper for what they're going.
Whether it pulls off or not
And-
needs to be done.
And it's Ubisoft, and we kind of know their track record of that one. All right, so we have, what do we have left at this point? We have
Square Enix and Nintendo.
Yeah, so we have those 2 conferences left, and these are the ones that get a little bit more into kind of interest territory, but also some kind of concern territory, I think.
So, I apologize if it feels like I'm rushing. There's just a lot of shit, and I don't want to be here for 4 hours.
Yeah, again, there's a lot of things that we had to cover here, and I think the main reason is because Square and Nintendo just kind of dropped a freaking bomb at the end.
Yeah,
of
they
this.
dropped like a megaton nuke.
Yeah, it's like we knew there was gonna be a lot from both of them, but we were not expecting the caliber of what they gave us.
Yeah. So, Square started off with Final Fantasy VII, because, of course, they did. For the record, the night before was the Final Fantasy VII concert, which apparently was a shit show.
Yeah, that was a dumpster fire for what we realized.
Give you an idea, half the concert was just using MIDI files from the game. The other was really bad piano versions of songs. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
But they did show a trailer, and they did drop a release date.
Which,
We'll get there.
insert fan freakouts here. I picture the dude from Avatar: The Last Airbender who's like, woo, like foaming at the mouth.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty much what happened.
So they announced that it's actually going to be on 2. There's too much information to keep on one disc. It's 2 Blu-ray discs worth of information. Now, you don't think that's impressive. Blu-rays could store a lot of information. They hold more than DVDs.
Well, if I remember correctly, wasn't the original Final Fantasy VII like on 4 discs or something like that?
It was 2 or 3. Final Fantasy VIII was on 4 discs.
Okay. And we'll get into that because there actually is news on that as
Yeah,
well.
we'll get there. But yeah, it was 2 or 3 for the original one. And this is just Midgard.
Yeah, so that...
And they mentioned that, so as we could, it's going to be episodic, but Midgard's apparently 20 to 30 hours by itself.
And you played Final Fantasy VII, so...
Yeah, that's... Midgard's about the first 5 hours of Final Fantasy VII.
I never have played Final Fantasy VII, so you're kind of more the expert to be able to explain that in distance and how impressive that is, along with the graphical upgrade, too.
Boy. So, the combat looks very Final Fantasy 15 KH1 combat, which is fine.
I know a lot of people complain about that, though, because they want the original combat back.
Well, about that. So they showed off tactical mode, and it's like they slow the battle down, and it's turn-based, so you can actually show, like, you could actually assign, like, Cloud, I almost said Squall. You can assign Cloud to, like, do magic during that mode, or to heal, or you could slow it down enough to kind of get your bearings about you and decide what you're going to do. So they kind of sort of brought that back.
Just for if you need to do, like, magic and healing and stuff like that, you can slow it down to kind of consider what you should do here. Because, again, you're trying to control a party of 4 people in a real-time action scenario.
Yeah.
So that can be kind of hard to do, so you have to kind of get a little bit more creative to help out.
They also said that they'll show more about tactical mode in a couple of months. Probably TGS or Gamescom.
Probably Gamescom.
I'd say TGS. That's more for RPGs.
Either way.
So they showed off the first boss fight of the game, which was that mechanical spider scorpion thing.
Having Cloud and Barret?
Barret, yep.
Yeah, and Barret looks good.
Barret looks really good. My baby looks good.
The one gripe you mentioned is that you don't really like Cloud's voice actor right now.
I don't, but I have to get used to it. I'm used to... Hold on.
Yeah, so...
Actor... I spelled actor wrong. Cloud, Kingdom Hearts.
And that's because that's the one you've heard for so many years.
Steve Burton. But yeah, but it's because that's the one I've heard. Because remember, the original games were never voice acted.
Yeah, the only kind of voice acting you got was when they did Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, and so I'm just used to Steve Burton doing.
Or the
Cloud.
voice for, like, from Advent Children.
Yeah, I'm used to that, not whoever this new guy is.
Kind of more brooding, kind of.
Yeah. I'm sure he's fine. It's just, it's a little bit of a shock. But I'm also used to Final Fantasies where they don't talk.
Exactly. You're used to Final Fantasy that don't talk, and plus with Cloud's personality and how he goes through the game, you kind of expect a little bit more of kind of like that lower tone, not as...
Yeah.
Kind of mid-pitch.
Yeah. And then Nomura showed up because...
Nomura.
Because of course he did. Showed up in fucking shorts and sandals.
That man looked like he was just kind of like just minding his own business. They kind of saw him like, hey, we need you to come give us a hand. And like, ah!
Yeah, pretty much.
He also looked like he just wanted to be left alone.
So they ended up showing a longer version of the orchestra trailer.
Which was really cool.
And they finally showed off Tifa!
Oh my god, the screaming. There is a mess in that amphitheater that they had to clean up.
But yeah, because every trailer, at that point, we'd only seen Cloud and Barret.
Cloud, Barret, and,
Sephiroth.
There was also one other character as well. I can't remember her.
Aerith.
Yeah, they're the only 4 that we've seen at this point.
Yeah. We had only seen up to those 4, and especially because they're in Midgard, the fact that they hadn't shown Tifa yet was shocking.
Yeah, like, there was no combat shown for her. There was no kind of, like, design for her that was
By the
shown.
way, they did show some of the limits. They, like, showed Cloud's cross-strike.
Which looked beautiful.
Looks really good. They kind of showed Barrett's limit, and they showed Tifa's limit in the trailer.
Oh my god, Tifa looks amazing, though.
I'm so happy.
Again, I think the best thing that you showed me was yesterday, where it shows, like, if you didn't like me during my pixel phase, you don't deserve me at this phase.
Yeah.
And... again, boy howdy, I think what you said was perfect, where Tifa's one of those characters that makes everybody feel a certain way. It doesn't matter, boy, girl, non-binary, you are feeling a certain way for Tifa.
I'm really, they made Tifa look really good. They respected the design. I'm not impressed with Sephiroth, though. I don't like his voice, and I don't like his design. And I don't know why he's more foreboding as a block.
I think it's because, or if anything, you're more used to the design from Kingdom Hearts.
It's pretty much the same design from him in Final Fantasy VII.
But that's what
slightly up-resed.
But that's what I mean, though. I feel like you've appreciated more of that style or just the pixels than what they kind of chose to go with.
It might be just the voice.
Yeah, because I think you were expecting something a lot more sinister sounding.
Yeah.
But this one sounds more maniacal, not as sinister.
They might sinister him up a bit in the other episodes. It's just because I guess they're in Midgard.
This is early on before he really kind of goes down the rabbit hole.
Please put in the cross-dressing scene.
I'm pretty sure there'll be mass rioting if there's no cross-dressing scene.
Please put in the cross-dressing scene. I need to see Cloud in a dress for my own sensibilities.
Also, there's one other character that you mentioned you wanted to see that you didn't get.
Oh, Red 13.
Red 13 is the other character you wanted to see, hopefully, this time, but we didn't get still, but that'll probably be the next trailer of this show.
Oh, I can't, his name might be Gato, but I can't remember. There's a party member you get that is a giant, it's a cat riding on a Moogle. Or it's a cat riding on a robot. I need to look at... I'll show them to you later, and you'll see what I mean. But that's the other one I really want to see, too, is the cat.
Yeah.
But yeah, Red 13, I want to see what he's going to look like in this. And you get him in Midgard, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, don't you get, like, most of your party at
Yeah,
that
a good
point?
portion of your party. Or at least the ones that normally stick around by that point.
Yeah, or, like, if anything, that's majority of your party that 9 times out of 10 what people
Yeah.
will keep in the game is that Midgard.
And they announced that that's coming out on the 3rd of March.
Yeah, so you're really excited for that
It's
one,
actually
too.
a lot sooner than I thought we were going to get it.
But since they're breaking up into episodic chunks, you can kind of get away with doing that a little sooner.
Yeah.
But if they were doing, like, a full release, then, yeah, that'd be a lot more concerning.
They also announced, your standard special editions. Like, they have the special one on the Square Enix store, kind of like what they did with Kingdom Hearts, where if you pay a little bit more, you get the Play Arts Kai figure, which are really nice, by the way.
And
Like, they're high quality.
That steelbook looks smexy, though.
Yeah, that's the version I'm getting.
Yeah.
So I'm still getting the steelbook and the art book. I just don't get the... If you pre-order the game, you get the Baby Chocobo materia. If you pre-order the game through anybody else, you get the Chocobo and the Cactuar. If you went through the Square Enix store, you get the Chocobo, the Cactuar, and the Carbuncle. And I wanted the Carbuncle, but I'm not going to spend $300.
And that's the thing. And plus, that's usually a very weird store where they really kind of make that more just Japan exclusive sometimes, too.
No, they have an American Square Enix store.
Alright, I remember, like, during Kingdom Hearts, we had some problems trying to find that, though.
Well, it's because it's sold out.
That was also fair.
It's sold out like that. Like, and I'm sure this one is pretty much... everybody I was watching on Drop Frames had already bought the edition.
Yeah, and they all were kind of laughing themselves because they all were saying, like, don't buy into these. And then within, like, 5 minutes,
Yeah, we just bought the $300 special edition of this.
Even though they're screaming, don't buy into it. If anything, I'm pretty sure they were just screaming so that way no one else was going to take them away before they could.
Actually, could be. I might not be wrong, actually.
They were trying to get people to not to buy it as quickly because they wanted it.
It's really, really funny what else comes out on the 3rd. And we'll get there.
Oh, yes, we will.
Because I don't think you remember what else comes out on March 3rd.
All I know is it's going to be a clusterfuck.
It's going to be really hard for me.
You're going to be in hell.
You don't, because you don't remember what game it is, but I do.
I know, but the fact of the matter how you're reacting, it's going to be hell for you because you're going to
I
be
don't know
sitting
what
there like,
I'm going to play.
Oh, I do know. I do know.
You remember now.
Yeah, you are going to be just in hell.
So then they announced, I guess they're finishing off Life is Strange 2.
Which, again, like, well...
You can play the thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. It's interesting seeing them combine the stuff from, like, Captain Spirit in there, but...
Well, they announced when they had released Captain Spirit, last year.
Yep.
That it was going to tie into Life is Strange 2. Like, when they originally showed that, they announced that was going to tie in.
I wasn't expecting it to tie in the way they did.
Yeah, no, apparently it's super tied in. I don't... Life is Strange isn't my type of game. I'm not into, like, the teen angsty, supernatural, video gamey stuff.
Yeah, they took the supernatural up to a whole new level, though, with this one,
Do you
I
remember
think.
the end of Life is Strange 1?
Oh, I do, but this one takes that supernatural aspect way farther, I think, though.
It reminds me very much of Stranger Things, and not in a good way.
Yeah, not in a good way at all.
But anyway, so you could do the thing. Then they announced Crystal Chronicles!
You lost it when you saw it. You did not expect that.
I remember seeing something about it, but I didn't expect them to show it. And I'm very happy with Crystal Chronicles, because it's another game I think you'd be up your alley if you really like sort of turn-based.
Yeah.
It's coming to the Switch, and it's coming out for phones.
Which I thought was interesting. It's coming out for
I'm
phones.
getting it for the Switch.
Well,
but...
obviously, because we don't like playing games on
and
phones.
the PS4.
Yeah.
And
But-
it's coming out this winter.
Which is actually really cool. It's a lot sooner than I would have expected it.
It makes me very happy.
Uh-huh.
They're announcing that Octopath is on Steam already, and I think that came out earlier.
That was last month, I think. Like, late last month.
But
it
just to
came out.
remind people that, hey, we did port this to PC. Square's been doing better by trying to port their RPGs to PC and not just on console, so...
Well, and again, if you guys like those, like, turn-based games, Octopath is definitely up your alley for that one. I love it personally.
Yeah.
I just wish the grind wasn't as bad.
Yeah.
That is all I can say about it.
Oh, that's Path of Exile. Then they showed off Last Remnant Remastered, which is a super cult following game. I have it. The combat's a little different.
Again,
It's a JRPG. It's just not up my alley, but I'm grateful for people who wanted the remaster.
another game kind of out of left field, though. We weren't really expecting that one.
Yeah, I didn't expect to hear anything about Last Remnant because I didn't think it's not a super popular game.
No, not at all. So,
And that's also out now, so you can play the thing.
yeah, so there's that.
They showed off Dragon Quest Builders 2.
They really just sold that one for as long as they could.
Yeah. It's more Dragon Quest Builders.
Yeah.
So if you play Dragon Quest Builders 1, have fun. If you haven't, think Dragon Quest meets either Harvest Moon or Rune Factory.
Yeah, that's a good way of explaining it. But
more specifically Rune Factory, but it's Dragon Quest, but done in that style. So
with like the blocky terrain of like a Minecraft world.
Well, that's why I'm saying Rune Factory, because like in Rune Factory you could harvest, you could build shit, and it was an RPG on top of that.
Okay.
I'll show you some stuff from Rune Factory 4, and you'll kind of see what I mean. It's very sort of that kind of style.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if you really want to, it's Dragon Quest meets Stardew, but not really.
But not to that level, though.
Yeah, so it's more of that. It's coming out July 12th, but there'll be a demo the 27th of this month.
Yeah, so
I might check it out. If I like it, I might pick it up.
Well, you've been interested in wanting to pick up Dragon Quest 11.
Yeah, it's never been an RPG that I've gotten into. I've kind of avoided Dragon Quest. And I think the reason was because Akira Toriyama did the art, and I can't look at that with going, that's Goku, that's Vegeta, that's Trunks.
Yeah, because how many Dragon Quest...
Chi-Chi.
How many Dragon Quest characters have the freaking Trunks haircut?
Most of the main protagonists, actually.
It's hilarious. I think we all know where he leads on his favorite Dragon Ball characters with that hairdo with the mop head.
Trunks is awesome.
Trunks is awesome. I've never liked his haircut though because he has a very mop head.
So they showed off some stuff about Dragon Quest 11, 11S, which is they're putting it to the Switch.
Yeah.
You can either go in classic mode, which is the 8-bit art style, or you can go 3D mode. And I watched today through the Treehouse that there actually is a reason for that.
Really?
So they're putting in aspects of the other Dragon Quests. Like if you find different chapters, you could go to the other worlds from the different Dragon Quests. But you can only do that in 8-bit.
That kind of explains what we'll discuss in Nintendo later.
We'll discuss this in a minute.
That does make sense more for why they did that now.
Yeah, but you can actually, you get to see some of the characters. I don't think you get to see, the hero or whatever they call them in the other Dragon Quest.
Insert protagonist here.
But you can only do it in the 8-bit mode.
But that's cool, though.
Yeah, so you can actually go to different areas. Like, they showed off areas from Dragon Quest 8.
That's cool, though, that you actually have to go in the 8-bit mode to actually see those worlds.
They showed off they showed the altar for Dragon Quest 1. It's called the Altar of Origin.
Mm-hmm.
And then 8 was Altar of Cursed King, because Dragon Quest 8 was the Journey of the Cursed King.
Okay. No, I actually like that idea.
It's super neat, and I think it's a neat idea, especially for people who maybe have never played Dragon Quest.
To kind of learn the past lore and maybe, if anything, encourage them to seek out the older games.
Oh, yeah, I have a couple of them already, and I'll play through them eventually.
Yeah, we have a lot of RPGs to go through currently.
But it's more Dragon Quest, so if you like JRPGs, you'll probably like this one. Mm-hmm. And this is coming out this fall. I can't remember if Nintendo... Give me a second.
Okay.
Holding. I can't remember if Nintendo announced the release date, or if it was more of the same. I thought they showed something on... I thought they showed something. Oh, they showed it on Dragon Quest Builders?
I think Builders...
Oh, no, wait, hang on. Oh, yeah, they did announce a release date in Nintendo. It's September 27th.
That's right.
I don't know why Nintendo got the announcement, but okay.
But Nintendo has all their shit around September, October this year, so...
Yeah, but it's September 27th, so I might take a look at it. And I'll try the demo for Dragon Quest Builders and see if it's something up my alley.
We'll find out,
Yeah. Then they showed... Apparently, Square Enix has an indie thing.
Yeah.
So they showed off Battalion 1944 Eastern Front.
We had to go back, because that was just a mouthful of a name for a title. What?
I was waiting for Battlefield 1944 Eastern Front remix featuring Knuckles and Dante from Devil May Cry. That whole meme.
Yeah, but it's one of those things, the name was so long, everyone's kind of how the hell are you supposed to get that written down before it goes by the screen?
Yeah. And then they showed a racing game that's coming out in 2020.
Yeah.
It looks like an RC style racing game. They're calling back to the old racing games from the NES.
We both kind of looked at it and were
cool. If you're into that, cool.
Yeah, it was a little janky,
and then
though.
Battlefield 1944 looks like COD.
Yeah.
And that's out now, but yay, more Call of Duty.
Yeah, it is literally just more Call of Duty.
Then they announced that Square Enix put out a bunch of music on Spotify and Apple and shit.
And that was mainly for Final Fantasy, though.
The ad, though, was actually hilarious.
The ad was hilarious. Just a woman in a coffee shop and this entire, orchestra, trying to sit their way into this place while kind of getting everyone else's way.
And then every time she skips the music, they're, flying through their books, so they have the sheet music ready.
We literally see the people, just turning the pages normally, and then someone just grabs the freaking Bible, just starts flipping like a mad person. Where are we?
It was actually really funny, so... But I'm actually excited because I love the Final Fantasy soundtracks. Nobuo Uematsu was a genius. He doesn't do it much anymore because he got sick.
Fair, though.
Do you know who did Final Fantasy 15?
Who did 15?
Yoko Shimomura.
Oh!
And if that name doesn't ring a bell, it's Kingdom Hearts, Super Mario RPG, Street Fighter 2.
A lot of good soundtracks.
Yeah, she is an amazing composer.
But either way, the fact of the matter is that we saw that, we thought it was cool. It just makes me hope that they will add more of Square's library onto Spotify and other things.
I don't know what else they have. I just saw Final Fantasy, but I didn't really look for like Dragon Quest or Hitman.
I checked for Octopath and it's not there. I think it's primarily for
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, like I remember the icon saying primarily Final Fantasy, so.
Well, it would make sense because everybody wants those soundtracks.
Exactly. Everyone wants those soundtracks.
Semi-legally, anyway.
Yeah, well, let's be honest. We all, either you have a cover of somebody doing it on Spotify somewhere, or we've all gone down that rabbit hole.
Well, Spotify's legal, so.
Spotify's legal, or we've gone down the rabbit hole where you can't really do it normally.
Then they showed off Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, which is the DLC. It's the same trailer that we got from the concert.
We honestly were hoping there was going to be more,
but you know, it's whatever.
Same trailer. You're excited because it changes up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, did we talk about that last week?
I don't think we did, actually.
We'll save it.
Yeah, we'll save that for
a Kingdom Hearts episode.
Yeah, because we'll do one around Christmas when
well, it's also very, very spoiler heavy, and since the game did just come out in January, I'm kind of waiting a bit.
But think of it this way: when it comes out, that'll give us something to talk about, to kind of talk about the differences.
Exactly, but I don't want to say what we saw because it's very spoiler heavy.
Exactly. If you guys haven't played the game yet and you see the trailer, you won't really understand. Yeah. But if you have played the game and you've seen the trailer, then it really is.
So then they announced the Final Fantasy XIV DLC, which we all knew was coming.
Yeah.
I didn't know that game had been out for 6 years already.
That's what shocked us.
Well, Realm Reborn was out for 6 years. They tried launching it already in the past, and we talked about that last week.
That we did.
Apparently it's 16 million people that have an account on that too.
Which is honestly surprising.
It's a pretty big MMO.
Yeah.
Other than the monsters are nightmare fuel, and they are.
Oh yeah.
It's coming out July 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
And then they showed another trailer for Dying Light. Same thing.
Yep.
And then here's one, for you JRPG fans. Romancing Saga 3 and Saga Scarlet Grace are coming out to the West for the first time.
So
eventually.
Exactly. So for those of you that have like an affinity for loving like the Japanese RPGs that we've never gotten in America before,
we're getting some of them now.
Which is great, but at the same minute though, I'm wondering how some of those are going to translate now.
I think like Romancing Saga 3 looks like they were keeping like the 8-bit style, and I think the Saga Scarlet Grace is a new game. So it's going to be using a more modern engine. But it looks like they're keeping the 16-bit of the old games for the other one, which is awesome. Like,
I honestly love that art style for those games.
I love 16-bit. And so they announced something new for Brave Exvius, and I have no idea what the fuck it is.
I think you sat there just like with the most confused look on your face, like, huh?
Is this a game? Is this for mobile? What the fuck?
Are we getting a movie?
I don't know. And it's coming.
And that's all we got.
That's all I got.
They literally just said, it's coming.
Coming.
There was no year or anything.
I should have said that the Romancing Saga games are coming out soon, trademark.
Yeah, right.
I got sick of saying coming soon, so I just did stupid shit for this conference.
Again, because like they didn't give like release dates or years or anything. They're just like coming, and that was it. It's like, okay, can you give us a little more than that, or?
So then they showed their new IP called Outriders, done by the guys who did Painkiller and Bulletstorm. I'm sorry about Bulletstorm.
Right, I played that game a little bit. I was not impressed personally. I know a lot of people love it though.
It's Mad Maxy, kind of meets War of the Worlds with magic.
Yeah, it's definitely a choice.
That's the best way I know how to describe that.
We saw the trailer. We both kind of scratched our heads though because there wasn't really much shown.
Well, it's because so it's coming out summer of next year, so they have time. And they mentioned there'll be more on it this winter, so I'm guessing that's going to be probably a TGS or a TwitchCon or something.
We had a lot of jokes over it. It seemed like they were borrowing assets from other games, though.
That's because it looked like they plucked some shit out of Final Fantasy and plucked some shit out of Octopath, and they plucked some shit. Like they plucked a lot of shit.
They did. So,
like I said, it's Mad Max meets War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
With magic. So that's that. Then they showed Ononaki, which I didn't know Square was publishing.
Again, I would have had no idea.
Ononaki, which I'm glad I wrote that down because I would have called it Okonomiyaki again. They showed it earlier this year during the Nintendo Direct, and it's a game about you're basically trying to help people in the afterlife reincarnate.
Right.
It's that game.
That's right.
But I didn't know Square was publishing it. I mean, it makes sense. It looked like a Square game.
Yeah.
But we actually have a release date, and it's August 22nd.
So
and that's a lot sooner than I thought because I don't think we got a release date in January.
No, we definitely didn't.
So, cool.
Yeah, so that was interesting.
It looks good, up my alley. I love the art style, and it's an interesting concept. Like, you kind of get to decide, like, if you do their mission, they reincarnate, but if you don't, and, like, some of these are on timers.
Yeah,
so if you don't do it, they don't reincarnate.
It was definitely an interesting idea, though, that's for sure.
But the idea is, like, you're supposed to not feel sad about death because the sadness creates, like, demons and shit. Mm-hmm. So you're supposed to celebrate death and all that, and it's an odd topic, but I'm into it.
It's kind of like, it's almost in a sense celebrating Dios de los Muertos.
Something like that, yeah.
So.
Kind of the same idea, but more like an Irish funeral, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way of putting it, I guess.
And with less booze. You've never been to an Irish funeral, you have no idea.
No, but man, I would love to.
And then, somehow, they're remastering Final Fantasy VIII.
Again, we made the comment, like, I think we even made this comment last week, where it was like, they lost the gold copy to where they couldn't do it. But they're like, hey, we know you guys have been waiting, and here it is! Everyone's like, what the fuck, what?
So it's really funny, because when you're watching the trailer, it doesn't really look all that remastered. It looks like shit, actually.
Until you actually look at the old school side-by-side.
PS1 copy, and you're like, oh.
Oh.
I see now.
Now we understand what happened.
Yeah, so it's not like a Final Fantasy VII type of dealio. It's just remastered. It looks slightly up-res, but...
Yeah, but again,
it's coming this year at some point.
It's definitely one of those things that people have waited for this one a lot, because I know there's a large following for 8.
There's a very large following for 8. I don't like it, but...
But for those of you guys that have waited for a long...
I've also been spoiled on 6.
You have, but for those of you that have been waiting for a long time, though, because of them not having that master copy, here you go now. You guys have... Your waiting has been rewarded.
And then... Avengers.
God.
And unfortunately, I don't... Oh, turns out, the guy in the trailer was Taskmaster.
Oh, so I was right.
Yeah, you were right. That was Taskmaster.
Awesome. So
the audio was fucking garbage.
This is the thing that saddens me, because last week we were so excited for this. You could hear it in our voices, and now we come out of E3 weekend. It's like,
we don't know what it is, and that's the thing. Is I don't know what this game is.
The trailer didn't really tell you anything about what the gameplay is.
You get 5 of the 6 OG Avengers. So you get Cap,
Iron Man,
Hulk,
Black Widow, and Thor.
No Hawkeye.
No Hawkeye.
Apparently they all play differently, which is a good thing.
That's
but
good.
Still.
But the fact of the matter is, you only get 5 of them to start with, and for what they were trying to show in the trailer,
like, so apparently they built a Western tower, like in San Francisco, and things, wacky hijinks ensue, and shit's being blown up.
Tony Stark builds something that he should not have, kind of scenario. Someone finds out about it, they try to steal it from him.
And the audio was garbage because, like, they put too much emphasis on the sound effects.
Well, and here's the thing that also was funny. That we see the rendering for what they had for Captain America. He looked fine. Everyone else...
It's apparently, once you get used to it, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
But still.
Tony looked weird, but it's whatever.
Yeah, mainly because whenever I think of Tony Stark, I don't think of a dude with flowing hair, really.
So...
Shit
goes sideways, they disband, and they come back together 5 years later.
Yeah, you watch something explode.
And so they get the band back together.
Yeah, but...
apparently it's an original story written by Marvel, though.
Which is cool, but it's just...
They got Nolan North to voice Tony Stark, they got Troy Baker to voice Hulk, and they got Laura Bailey to voice Nat. But, I mean, it's a good cast, I don't know...
The game.
What it was.
Again, because we saw no kind of gameplay whatsoever, so...
I don't want you to see the rating.
Fair enough. But the thing is that we saw no actual gameplay or even them say anything about the gameplay. It's like, here's this trailer. Look at these voice actors. Huh? This looks pretty cool, right? And every time someone in the audience would be would yell out a question, they just kind of steamrolled it and just kept going.
Well, that's not the time or place to ask the questions, is at a conference, you know what I mean?
It was just funny watching them go where's Hawkeye? So we're doing this thing. It's like, they're like, you just kind of didn't really feel like they really cared to even hear what people were even saying.
With that being said, though, they did announce, they're going to add new heroes and new regions for free.
Starting with Ant-Man, of all people.
I was going to get there, but yeah, starting with Hank Pym Ant-Man, not Scott Lang Ant-Man. And they also announced there's going to be no loot boxes, no pay-to-win mechanics, which is sad that we're at this point where you have to announce that.
Here's the thing, though. This is the first time we heard that all this time.
Yeah, that was the first time we heard that, actually.
It was the first and only time we heard those words uttered during this conference, which I still think is sad that they had to say it.
And apparently PlayStation gets a beta access, and they get some extra shit.
Which is probably one we'll look into, because I want to know what the hell's going on.
And it comes out May 15th. And I'm not excited until I know what the fuck this game is, I'm not excited.
And that's the thing. I feel like everyone kind of entered that same way after we saw it. Everyone heard Project Avenger. Oh my god, we're getting a new Avengers game. You see the trailer. What am I looking at?
We'll talk about another Marvel game that we're actually excited for in a hot sec.
Yeah, and the Nintendo conference we'll talk about what we're actually excited for. But This was one that
you put Avengers on it, you put Avengers or Spider-Man in anything, and I will eat it up like hotcakes.
This is the one that we seem excited. You see it. Now I'm disappointed.
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
Or I'm concerned for what is about to happen.
Yeah. So what's your rating for Square Enix? And yes, guys, it actually is Enix, not Enix. We were wrong all these years.
Yeah. The thing is, though, there's a lot of balancing here of this one, because there's a lot of good, a lot of bad, I feel like, involved, mainly because of Project Avenger. The one that we were the most hyped for really fell flat for both of us.
Yeah.
All in all, though, ignoring that fact, it was actually a semi-decent conference, where I would probably give them maybe a 6.5 leaning into the 7.
My rating is a drunk kid before a chemistry test.
I forgot about that one.
So I didn't want you to see it. I didn't want you to see it.
Oh, I forgot.
Like, you studied for it, and you know it's fine, and it's gonna be great. Oh, God, if he gets he'll get the white gem eventually, and that'll just break the game.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so it's a drunk kid who studied, but it's right before a chemistry test. You know all the information, but you're just too drunk to remember any of it.
And that's kind of how we felt. Like, after we watched the conference, we actually had to go back through this at least 1 or 2 times to remember what the hell happened.
Yeah.
We only knew, the only 2 things we remembered from that whole conference was, here's Final Fantasy VII, what the fuck's going on with Avengers?
Yeah, like,
you remembered the good and the bad. Everything in the middle there was like, I honestly can't remember.
For my JRPG sensibilities, it was good, because Final Fantasy 7 and 8, Dragon Quest, Ononaki, like, I had a bunch of games that had my attention, because I associate Square Enix with JRPGs.
And that's a fair...
Because Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, they own some of these bigger properties that are some of the best JRPGs of all time, and that's what I associated with them. And because because of it, this conference was good for me. It was just all the other things I was excited for them. I just don't know what the fuck's going on. We also didn't, like, I'm guessing they're taking a break from Tomb Raider, because Crystal Dynamics is working on Avengers.
Which I'm honestly fine with them taking a break from
Oh,
Tomb
no, I'm
Raider
totally
for a bit.
okay with it.
That needed to have a break from
But,
my
like,
thing.
Eidos and Crystal Dynamics are working together on this project, and I don't know.
Again, they really left a very sour taste in my mouth after that.
I will buy anything Avengers, quite happily.
But
I'm not excited for this.
This is, again, it was really the show of, hey, you guys want an Avengers game? Hey, have you guys seen our voice cast? And then after that, it kind of seems like, we don't really have much else past that. We got the Avengers license, we got these really great actors, and we didn't really do anything with the license after that.
What am I rating for Nintendo? Yeah, that's right. I remember now.
Yeah.
All right.
Now,
speaking of which, we're on the last one.
Now for the rabbit hole, because this had the ultimate lightning round of fucking indie games. You had to go back and 3 times to do this.
It wasn't even just indie games. It was just a bunch of games.
But it was like, there was literally the ultimate lightning round of just, here's a game with a date, here's a game with a date, here's a game with a date. It's like,
we'll get
I
there.
can't get all of this.
So, we're going to start off. They announced a fighter for Smash Brothers coming out this summer.
Like, I will emphasize they mentioned 2, but one was started at the start here, which was the first one we'll talk about.
Which is the hero from Dragon Quest.
11 to specify that one.
Well, yeah, like, the base is Luminary from 11, but, like, there are skins for all the other ones. And for the record, there is no name for any of the heroes. It's just hero.
Yeah, so it was very awkward to see the hero join Smash. Okay.
But there are a bunch of skin changes, and it's all the other ones. And it looks like the final Smash involved all of them as well.
Which I think is actually a clever idea of, like, all the heroes kind of transcending into, like, helping in that. And again, his fighting kit would actually be perfect for Smash, so because it's another sword fighter.
Yeah.
I bitched about sword fighters last time, but honestly, of all of them, that's one I'm actually thinking I'm okay with.
Yeah, and I'm super glad that it was Dragon Quest, because out of everything that people have been discussing, the Luminary was not one that was on the list. Urdik was, but not necessarily the Luminary.
But there is an Urdik skin that you can use.
There's an Urdik skin, but because it's all of them, technically everybody's happy.
They really did the Bowser Jr. treatment, where you have, like, all the other Bowser kids and everything show up. But this is a good way to go about it, I think. This way you don't anger anybody.
Which then led into the actual announcement that Dragon Quest XI S is coming out on the 27th of September.
So, again, that's
give you time to play with the Smash character and then get excited for Dragon Quest, I guess.
Yeah.
They didn't give it a date on when they're launching Luminary, but it just said summer.
Yeah, summer, and the other one comes out in the fall, but we'll get to that later.
There. And then they had some fun with the Doug Bowser joke.
This is the joke I was so excited to come to, though, because...
So basically what happened was, I can't remember the Japanese guy's name. Like, the head of Nintendo Japan right now.
Mm-hmm.
came out and was talking, and just like, and we're excited to introduce someone, and out walks Bowser with a tie, like he was all professional, and like was ready to introduce some games, and was gonna snap, and then Doug Bowser walks out and is like, you're the wrong Bowser. This is my job. And he looked confused, and it's like, gonna walk off, and they yell at him, it's like, nope, wrong way.
It's this way.
And they still look confused.
I honestly genuinely want to go over and give Bowser a hug.
Yeah, so I'm actually happy with, I didn't tell you this, and I'll have to have you find it for the podcast. There's a picture of Doug Bowser with Miyamoto at E3.
Aww.
And Miyamoto has a Mario plushie, and Doug Bowser has a little Bowser plushie, and it is cute.
The thing is, we were so worried about it, because this is the first time we actually had seen Doug Bowser come and do anything.
Yeah, and he actually is at E3, and for some of the Treehouse stuff, he actually hosted some of it.
Which again, when we even had the comment too, it's like we're so used to having Reggie around all the time. Having Doug Bowser, it was kind of more laid back, but I liked it. It didn't feel as
it wasn't
intense.
a bad thing. It wasn't a bad thing by any means. It's just different because we're all so used to Reggie.
Well, because with Reggie, I feel like he's ready to like go off like nail somebody if you say anything about Nintendo. Like, I feel like he'd be a dude to just smack in the jaw if you said something.
Yeah.
Doug Bowser was very laid back and very professional about it. I actually kind of liked it.
Yeah. So then he announced Luigi's Mansion 3, which we all knew was coming, but it was there.
It looks so good.
It's in a hotel, which was, I mean, you went from one mansion to 3 mansions to a hotel. It's a natural progression.
I think I called it Luigi Transylvania.
Something like that, yeah. Next is his studio apartment, and it'll be fine.
The dog's back.
Polterpup.
Polterpup is so cute.
So they announced that he has a new Poltergust. It's the G00.
Yep.
He can now do a slam move like a la Ghostbusters.
He can make a goo version of himself, which is being called
I'll get to Gooigi. He has a suction shot. He has a burst, which is basically a jump.
Mm-hmm.
And Egad's back, and he helps create Gooigi, who can go through shit. And apparently, according to some of the Giant Bomb guys, like when you make yourself Gooigi, like Luigi looks like he had the soul sucked out of him. So he's like standing there like.
Which is kind of funny if you think of the original Luigi Mansion trailer when he's outside the mansion gate where it's just like.
Yeah, something like that, actually, apparently.
But it makes sense, though, because he's pretty much putting his essence into that. But the one thing they did show in the trailer is avoid water as Goo Luigi, so...
Yep. And then Scare Scraper, which is a multiplayer mode.
Which also crazy...
With lots of Gooigis.
Well, yeah, because you have 4-player co-op, but everyone made Gooigis. You see, like, 8 Luigis running around. It's like, oh, God, no!
It's coming out sometime this year. They still haven't announced a date, and I've been checking the Treehouse, and there hasn't been much. Like, they've shown off some shit, but they haven't announced a release date, I don't think.
I just want to bet they'll do an update for some extra skins into Smash, and Gooigi will be in it, one for Luigi.
Probably, I wouldn't be
That'd
surprised.
be pretty hilarious, actually.
So then they announced a Dark Crystal companion game for the new Netflix Dark Crystal show, which that is an old fucking... That's an old movie that I can't believe they're redoing something for.
It's not like,
and it looks basically like Final Fantasy Tactics. It's that style of turn-based game.
Mm-hmm.
And funnily enough, it's called Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Tactics.
Another game with a giant freaking mouthful to write down and everything. So
then they showed Link's Awakening. It's like they mentioned on the Treehouse that it's supposed to look like a diorama.
And it shows.
It looks really good.
By the way, on that note, since they mentioned that they are doing a Link's Awakening amiibo, which actually is available for pre-order right now.
Actually, I think it comes out this month. I think that's what I saw. It's either you pre-order it next week or you can pick it up next week.
I know you can pre-order it because when I went by today, they did say you could pre-order. So.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. But yeah, so everything's like chibi-fied, but it's definitely it's Link's Awakening.
It's honestly really cute looking, actually.
It is.
I probably won't play it, but for those of you guys that like the Legend of Zelda games and Link Awakening. Again, I like how they said they wanted to make this game because they realized how hard it is to actually get a copy of it now.
Yeah, so during the Treehouse, they had Anuma out there, and they mentioned that because it was on the GBA, this game is so hard to find. You can't, or it's either Game Boy Advance or just normal Game Boy.
It's Game Boy Advance, I think.
It's really hard to find a card of it now, so they remade the game.
And I appreciate the fact that they actually did this for the right reason, I think, because of that. So I think that's actually good on them, you know?
Yep, so... That's coming out September 20th, and you can actually build dungeons. Like, you can build your own dungeons now.
Which was cool that you could build your own dungeons. I like the little hook-grabbing game, though, and I see them trying to grab the little Yoshi thing. That was hilarious.
It was, like, out of Yakuza. God, that's gonna give me so much goddamn anxiety.
I know.
But, so then they showed... They're bringing all 3 of the original Secret of Mana games to the Switch.
That was huge.
Yeah, Secret of Mana and Trials of Mana, too.
Is that out now, though, too?
That's out now. They're remaking Trials of Mana, and that's early next year.
Yeah, but otherwise, all the other Secret of Mana games, they're all available now on the Switch.
Which is awesome, because, again, some of those games never came to the West.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're coming to the West in all of their 8-bit, 16-bit glory.
There you go.
Then they announced they're bringing The Witcher this year.
On the Switch, which...
God, it's gonna look like ass!
I mean, if you guys like Witcher on the go, there you go, but...
But I don't think the Switch can handle that.
You won't... I mean, it handled Doom, to be fair, but Witcher's a lot more detailed, I think. So, it probably will not live up to what you guys would expect from a Witcher game if you played on the Switch, but at least it's a good intro.
I'm probably just gonna play it on
the PlayStation.
I'm just gonna play it on the PlayStation.
Although, if you have never tried it and this is the only way you can, it'd be a good intro to maybe consider if you want to get one of the other consoles.
The good news is that you don't need to play Witcher 1 and 2 to understand 3. They do a pretty good job of informing you what's going on without beating it over your head.
Just helps a little bit.
Well, the Witcher 1 and 2 never came out to console. It's only a PC game.
That's right.
They're only PC games. It was only with Witcher 3 that they started porting.
I mean, can you blame that game? So like freaking hotcakes.
No, I can't blame them, but Witcher 1 controls like ass. And Witcher 2 has controller support, Witcher 1 does not.
Yeah, didn't if I'm not mistaken, doesn't Witcher 3 on PC doesn't that not have controller support either?
I think it does, but it's better if you just use keyboard and mouse.
Even though that's
it's clearly optimized for keyboard and mouse, but you can use controllers.
Okay.
Oh, good. Ray's on the Trials of Soliana.
He's gonna die. A lot.
So then they showed a little bit on Three Houses, but I mean,
we saw like a 5-year time skip in there
some sort of time skip. I'm not sure how long it was.
But it seems like everyone that were like princes or royalty, they are now like the rulers almost.
And they're attacking each other, and the guy from the Blue Lions,
he's never just says kill everyone.
Like lost his fucking shit.
I mean, he lost an eye, so
he still lost his fucking shit. So there's some time travel involved.
Your Golden Stag group looks a little bit more interesting for you now. It's like, oh, I may actually have to go with this group even more now.
Yeah, he looks really good.
I'll probably stick with the Black Eagles personally. The red one.
Oh, Edelgard's group.
I'll probably stick with Edelgard's group. Or depending if streaming is up and running again by that point, I'll probably let you guys vote to see what group we start with.
And that comes out July 26th. God, I can't wait for our special edition to come in.
I know. We got the calendar and everything for it. But honestly, there wasn't really much to continue the hype for it for what we have, but since we like Fire Emblem...
we've been getting a shit ton of information for it lately, so...
A lot of information, a lot of, like, having people doing some research into some side things for it that we didn't really catch originally.
So... if you care about Fire Emblem, you already have all the information. If you don't care about Fire Emblem, it's a Fire Emblem game.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're bringing the OG Resident Evils were already on the Switch, which was 0, 1, and 4. And they're bringing 5 and 6 to the Switch.
Which, I'm sorry.
5 was alright, apparently.
You put 6, though. Why?
I'm just saying 5 was alright. 6 could go die in a hole.
I thought they were gonna say 7 almost. When they showed that trailer, I was
like
half convinced it was gonna say 7.
I bet you they're trying to work on getting 7 to the Switch, and that would be fine.
I mean, if that comes on the Switch, that's gonna be a great game to take somewhere and get the crap scared out of you.
Yep. Then they announced a new No More Heroes.
That was really out of left field for the two of us. We were like, oh, great, here's a Star Wars reference here. It's No More Heroes.
So I saw the Suda51, and I'm like, Suda51 only really makes one type of game, and it's No More Heroes. And then I saw the Gundam suit, and I'm like, oh, okay, so you're trying something else. And then he takes off the suit, and it's fucking Travis Touchdown, and I'm like, nope, it's No More Heroes.
Yeah, again, the Star Wars...
It was a roller coaster of emotions.
The Star Wars reference kind of told me, this is definitely this territory, and then the Gundam suit's like, that's it.
Well, it's more No More Heroes.
You got what you paid for.
Yep, and it's coming out in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're bringing Contra, like an anniversary collection of Contra out.
So, I had no idea there were that many Contra games.
There's Contra Rogue Corp, which is coming out in September. And then they released all of the games in an anniversary collection out now.
And like I said, I had no idea there were that many.
6 or 7?
There were like 9 or 10 that
I only saw a few. I was too busy trying to write shit down.
No, like every time they showed it up, there was like at least 3 or 4 games on the screen. So there's upward like maybe 10, 12 different Contras. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Because whenever I hear Contra, I just think Contra 3.
I think Contra's 1 through 3. And then I knew there was like Super Contra. And that's about all I knew.
But apparently there is a lot more than what we thought. Oh my god.
I know Castlevania started this with their collection that just came out on Xbox.
Yeah.
But I actually think this is a really good thing for people to play some of the other parts of the franchise that people haven't played before.
Or if you're like a parent and you want your kid to kind of experience where you came from in
I would recommend Contra.
Well, not Contra, but a chance to kind of show your kids like what you grew up playing a little bit better, which I think is great.
Like the Mana games or some of these other like bundles. I think it's actually a really good idea, and it helps, keep some of these older games alive.
Yeah, it kind of lets people see.
They may not be their original carts, but it's still a good idea.
But you get to kind of see the growth of everything, which I think is important.
Then they showed Daemon X Machina.
Daemon X Machina.
It's a mech game.
We pretty much said if you like Armor Core, this probably up
It
your
looks like
speed.
Armor.
But
Yeah. That's September 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Then, out of fucking nowhere, they showed off Panzer Dragoon.
Again, no one saw that coming.
I'm sorry. I told you if you were into good music plus a shmup, that Panzer Dragoon is the game for you. I was thinking Legend of Dragoon.
And that's
It's in the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned Legend of the Dragoon was a coworker of mine's favorite game of all time, and he still carries his PlayStation 1 around because of that game.
Yeah, so it's cool that they're bringing, like, Panzer Dragoon, so maybe Legend of Dragoon is only a matter of time.
Oh my god, that man will lose his freaking mind if that comes out.
I'll get back to you on that. But yeah, and that's coming out this winter. They mentioned, hey, Pokemon, we just had a direct.
Yeah.
But they mentioned you can use the damn Pokeball thing. You can't, like, it's not going to work the same way as Go did, but you can still put a Pokemon in there and walk around with it, and it'll help the friendship and all that.
Yeah, I think during that one, they showed a Grookey in it,
Grookey,
and that was cute. I love Grookey.
But it turns out if you get a new one, you can still import Mew.
Mm-hmm.
During the Treehouse, there was actually
Oh, no.
some issues that they confirmed that not every Pokemon's going to be able to move forward. It's only if they're in the Galar region, but honestly, whatever.
I've been watching just the bitching on Twitter the last
Exactly.
couple days.
There are two camps.
Some
And
peop-
most of the competitive players don't give a shit.
Well, yeah, because like
It's the shiny hunters that care.
because you've spent so much time trying to get all those shinies, now you can't even transfer all of them.
Yeah, I mean, just put them in home, and then when inevitably we get the Sinnoh remakes.
Which we know they're coming.
But this isn't uncommon.
No.
Didn't Black and White do this?
They did until post game. Then you were able to actually add that.
Didn't Sinnoh do this?
Sinnoh did not actually. They actually had a special area. Here's the thing: after you beat the main game and after you see all the Pokemon in the region, then they open the national dex to you and they offer a way for you to transfer everything in.
There was a game where you couldn't, though. Like, in order for you to do it in Leaf Green and Fire Red, in order to transfer Pokemon, you had to do that special side mission in the Sevi Islands to get the 2 gems.
You had to do that. For Sinnoh, you had a special area you could only unlock after you found all the Pokemon in that region to start with.
Yeah.
5th generation, after you beat the gym and after you beat the Elite Four and I think a couple other things, you do unlock a way to transfer everything into your game because I do have my old copy of White that has all the Kanto Pokemon in it.
I could have sworn there was a game where you couldn't transfer shit, though, from other games. But whatever, it doesn't matter.
They've always had a way to do it, I feel like. Or they maybe implemented them later and didn't really say anything originally.
I know some of them have been patches or been like the re-release versions.
And that might be what they're made to be doing, or they're just saying you can't transfer anything outside the decks until after you finish the game.
It could be, well, no, because they mentioned that because of all the animations this time, they're not gonna move everybody forward because of the amount of information that they have to keep. But you know what? It's whatever. Get over it.
Yeah. Again, for a
Put
lot.
them in home and wait until either the inevitable Sinnoh remakes or until you get a game that you can transfer them to.
The only way I see people being primarily upset is if it's your favorite Pokemon you can't transfer in.
Okay, I can't transfer Bulbasaur, but you don't see me crying a river about it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Use new Pokemon.
For me, I'll be fine because Eevee's always available, so I'm always gonna be able to get Espeon.
Yamper.
Okay, so that was also another thing. During the Treehouse, they showed 2 new Pokemon. One called
During the demo, not the trailer.
Yeah, during the demo. Yeah, so they actually got leaked through the demo during E3. So they actually never even told
It's
us.
not leaked. They told, they just didn't tell people there were going to be a new poke.
Which I think was a great way to have those introduced. So
Yeah.
there was Impidimp, who's a dark fairy type, which looked very kind of Sableye-esque in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then there was Yamper.
Super, actually, Sableye, now that I think about it.
Mm-hmm. And then there was Yamper, who is legitimately a electric corgi with a heart on its butt.
And I had to tell him this. Its ability is if you fail a catch, there's a chance that it'll bring the Pokeball back to you.
It plays fetch!
So, I've already found my new favorite Pokemon.
I think it's an auto pick for the team. I don't
For
care.
sure.
If this is the Pika Clone for the Gen, we've all agreed that this is a Pika
I don't
Clone
care.
we're fine taking for once. Because, oh my god, it's cute. It literally has one of the funniest abilities I've seen in years. And again, we
It's
saw
a corgi.
We saw the Dynamaxing for it, and it actually was adorable as a giant corgi. It's like, I want to ride that thing into battle. Fuck you, pixies, that you ride corgis in the battle. I want that thing.
It was actually really cute, so... I'm excited for Yamper.
That honestly helped really confirm, reaffirm to us that this actually might be an interesting generation.
Yeah.
Along with the Treehouse for what they did show,
Yeah, like they showed the overworld. They showed the overworld in the treehouse, or like the wild areas.
Yeah.
And apart from all of the fucking raids, dear God.
Yeah, we saw like 5 or 6 in the background. Like, what the hell?
They also confirmed that like other players, if you have the online thing, will actually show up in your overworld and can give you items.
Which I think is cool that you can actually run into each other like that to set things
They
up.
showed the bike.
That is like the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
It like replaces its wheels with like water paddles.
Watching that man pedal on water, that image I gave you guys last week is just that much more amazing to me now because of it.
So they also showed some like evolved Pokemon in the overworld and confirmed you can't catch them because it would put your level spike out of whack.
And to explain that a little bit better.
They had level 10 Pokemon except for Corviknight, but whatever.
I think that's just
it was just I think it was also like a placeholder because that's only the Pokemon they've shown.
Aside from like a Wooloo or something like that.
Yeah, but like it was just Pokemon that they've shown without having to drop anything. So they showed like a Machoke. And the Machoke actually ran after you, and it was like level 26, and you're level 10.
Yeah, so it was one of those situations where there are going to be a lot stronger mons in the world, like you mentioned. And yeah, we're not going to be able to catch them in because of the level issue.
So you can either try to fight it,
which would be great for experience, but
or you just piss off.
And honestly, you're better pissing off. But it was cool though seeing the fact of the Pokemon wandering around in the grass and the ones that you can just randomly encounter still.
Yeah, it was super neat, and the fishing spots are a little bit more defined now.
The fact that you can whistle and they'll come to you.
You can whistle and get their attention, and also hidden items. They actually sparkle a lot more now.
Yeah, I actually appreciate knowing the fact you actually can see them now.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a JRPG in the sense like you can gather items. So it looks like you're going to be able to like cook or something in this game. So I wonder if it's going to give you a stat.
Which made that Scottish joke about the female trainer that much worse considering when they ran into them. They gave you potatoes. It makes the joke that much worse.
And then, so during the demo, they actually showed off another gym leader, Nessa, who's the water-type gym leader. Well, apparently, like, in order to get to her, there's, like, it's not just battling a bunch of mooks.
It actually sounds like you're doing...
There's gonna be, like, some puzzle-type aspects.
Kind of takes, like, the Orange Island aspect from the anime a little bit. There's
Kinda,
a little bit more to it.
But yeah, so instead of just fighting a bunch of mooks, you actually have to do something to get there. And I love that aspect.
Makes it a little bit more like getting to the gym leader means more to you.
She also has a Dreadnought, and that makes me very happy.
Well, we also had the joke because, like, her character design looked cool, and then we saw what she was wearing. She looks like she's wearing a pair of Chacos with, like, life preservers on them.
Yeah, it's like she took, like, a pair of sandals and glued 2 mini life preservers on each foot.
Instead of her having to use the bike to get across the bar, she wants to run across it as fast as she can.
Oh, God, you're right. But yeah, so that's all they showed of Pokemon. I'm sure there'll be more information coming soon.
Because
we're probably going to see either something at Gamescom or TGS.
If anything, I think we discussed, like, Gamescom will probably get, like, maybe one more reveal of some extra Pokemon. Because the one thing that made us more comfortable about this generation, they're not spoiling all the mons like they did for Sun and Moon right out of the get-go.
Yeah, Sun and Moon, we had the entire dex.
Like, either we had the entire dex by this point, minus a few Ultra Beasts or a couple things here and there. But the whole dex is out by this point.
No, at this point we've seen the starters, the legends, and some wild Pokemon. And honestly...
We've gotten 4 or 5 wild Pokemon at this point. That's it.
We got Wooloo, Gossifleur, Dreadnought.
Gossifleur's evolution as well.
So yeah, so Eldegoss, Corviknight,
Yamper, and
Impidimp.
Yeah.
So that's 7.
Yeah, so we have 7
so total
out of the whole
we have
dex.
12 Pokemon that have been revealed so far?
That are brand new to the region, anyway.
That are brand new. We've seen some Kanto and, like, from other regions as well.
We've seen a lot of other region Pokemon.
But apparently, to this dex, we've barely seen anything.
Yeah, we've barely even touched the surface.
Rumors have it there's going to be 194 Pokemon in this dex.
Like, brand new to this generation?
Whether it's brand new or not is yet to be seen, but this is going to be a fairly substantial region.
Which I would like, though. I would like to actually have a lot of original Pokemon.
And so far, other than Impidimp, I'm loving the designs.
Yeah, Impidimp's the only weird one, but the Yamper, we both are just like, I want more of this.
I need a Corgi.
We're hoping that he evolves, too, I think.
I'm sure he will.
If he doesn't, I'll be a little sad. But
it's an early type electric type. I'm sure it'll evolve.
Mm-hmm, because, again, it's cute.
Because I don't think it's going to be the Pika clone, because most Pika clones are based off of rodents. And a Corgi is not a rodent.
No, but he is damn
cute.
cute.
A Corgi is a puddle of sunshine.
I think we've both agreed.
With a wiggle butt.
I think we've both agreed that if it's a female, we're going to nickname it the Queen, and if it's a male, it's going to be nicknamed
Ichabod.
Ichabod, yeah. So if you guys are aware of those comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can see where the names are going.
So moving on, because I think we just spent 5 minutes talking about Pokemon.
You can tell we love this series.
They showed more of Astral Chain, and it's some Bayonetta-ass combat.
Yeah, for what they showed in the trailer, a little bit more is going on.
They showed a little bit more in the treehouse today. And it looked pretty neat, but...
Definitely seems like the more you do like the chaining with those creatures, the more you kind of seem to lose your sanity almost.
Yeah, they didn't really go into too much detail about that, but it still looked kind of neat.
It looks fascinating. I would like to see a little more.
Yeah, that's exactly. I need to see more of it. And that's coming out August 30th.
And Nintendo was like really good about at least giving us some dates on stuff this time.
Then they showed a game called Empire of Sin, which apparently you join a mob during the Prohibition.
It's definitely a choice.
So I watched Giant Bomb. They kind of sort of talked about this. Like they have some actual famous mobsters. So you can there's 20 different mobs or some shit, and you can join one of them and start to control the area.
That actually sounds interesting.
Yeah, right. So it's called Empire of Sin. It's coming out spring of next year.
Okay.
And then a game we care about, Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
So we actually ended up going out of our way and pre-ordering this one yesterday.
Yep.
We've been toying this idea for months.
And then we watched the direct, and it's a Marvel Ultimate Alliance game. It plays pretty much the same.
We saw a bunch of the characters and everything that they had.
Deadpool
having Taco Tuesday being ruined by Juggernaut, and him just going I'm gonna murder you!
It was so good!
But we actually got to see them add the characters in. You got to see how they all fought. I love how it. And again, very Marvel Ultimate Alliance-esque with the combinations of characters that you combine and stuff.
And they're including X-Men and Avengers and Defenders and Inhumans and anything and everything from Marvel history.
Yeah, it was great to see such a wide assortment. There was one character that we saw on the roster which we were not sure about.
It's Crystal from Inhumans.
And that was the only one. Everyone else we recognized.
The only reason I know is because I recognized the dog.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I did.
But otherwise, I love the fact that Rocket and Groot are just a tag team.
Yeah,
instead
they're
of
just
separate characters.
We saw Miles, Ghost Rider, some of the X-Men, the Guardians, Elektra.
Yeah, we saw Elektra.
We saw another character that
Nightcrawler.
We saw Nightcrawler, Colossus, Beast.
I think probably one of my favorite things when they introduce a character, they not only to say who they are, but also
something snarky.
And the thing with Cyclops, we were laughing our asses off. And it's leader of the X-Men, excellent point of view.
Nightcrawler was swashbuckling adventurer.
Which again, I've seen Nightcrawler. I've only known him having teleport and the cool little pointed devil tail. He had 2 freaking cutlasses. I was like, sign me up.
So during the Treehouse, they had a guy who has done work for the comics, and they mentioned that this is a new story. They even though it involves the Infinity Stones, they didn't want it to tie in any way to Infinity War and Endgame. So it's an original story, but they kind of sort of wanted to base the looks more off of their comic-based looks. And knowing the game, they'll have new costumes, and they may do some of the MCU.
Yeah, because every Ultimate Alliance they offer that choice. After you complete certain missions, you get those
Drax
outfits.
was green, he was in the comics.
The X-Men all had their old school blue
outfits.
and yellow outfits.
Yep. Colossus looked like he did in X-Men. Ultron definitely looked like he belonged in the comics.
Yeah,
Deadpool's Deadpool. There's no changing that.
Magneto and Mystique had her original look back as well.
Mystique had her
with the skull belt.
Psylocke too.
Oh
and the fact that they're including Psylocke makes me so happy because she's such a fucking badass.
We got to see a lot of really cool characters get debuted. But man, the gameplay looks a lot of fun. That's definitely gonna be one we'll probably just be investing a lot of time into, just goofing around.
Oh yeah, because it's 4-player co-op. So.
And the nice thing is drop in, drop out, too.
It's drop in, drop out co-op. You can play it by yourself and switch to the characters, or you can play with people, which we're probably going to do.
We'll probably play with each other, or we'll hang out with your friends and play that, because I think we could have a whole evening of hilarity of almost getting each other killed.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think, they showed, Iron Fist.
Yeah, they had Iron Fist.
That's a Defender, right? Not an Avenger. He's a Defender.
Yeah, he's a Defender. He kind of works with Spider-Man before Spider-Man really goes full on Avenger, I think.
I'd be really interested to see some of these alternate costumes.
We saw also... I'm trying to think of a couple of the other Netflix Marvel characters.
Jessica Jones.
We saw Jessica Jones.
And Luke Cage.
Those are the other 2 that we saw as well.
Yeah. So, and Iron Fist looked like he was out of the comics as opposed to the weird Netflix version.
But Iron Fist's outfit has always been weird to me, so...
It's been weird, but they didn't try to whitewash him, so...
Thank God for that.
So, we're gonna pick that game up.
Yeah, we also got to see Venom fight, which is kind of hilarious to watch.
Yeah!
Good guy Venom healing everybody.
Yep, and again, Spider-Gwen and Miles makes me very happy.
I know you're probably going to want to have at least one of them in the party 24/7. But the fact of the matter is, I like the fact they all have individual leveling up, though, too. So if you use a character, you get more levels out of them.
They all individually level, and you only are going to start with a couple of characters, and you'll eventually work your way to a bigger roster, which very much was like Smash Bros.
Which is cool.
But that's also how the other Marvel Ultimate Alliance games worked.
But the nice thing is, though, too, is that when you get a new character, they don't start at base level 1. When they got Deadpool added, Deadpool started at level 20.
Yeah, so it seems like it scales.
It scales with where you're at in the game and what the appropriate level should be for them. So
if
you're power leveling a certain character, you're going to be a little busted at that point.
Yeah.
But it seems like if you add a new one, they'll be about on par where you should be at to help out, so they're not completely useless at the start.
So, they also, that comes out July 19th, so that's a week before Fire Emblem.
We're going to be busy.
Gives us something to do the week before Fire Emblem.
Oh, we can spend a week just playing the game nonstop. My work schedule, depending on how that goes, we are going to be playing that a lot.
Yep. And then they showed off Cadence of Hyrule, which is like the sequel to Crypt of the Necrodancer, so you get to play as Cadence, Link, or Zelda, and that comes out tomorrow.
But seeing the fact that, like, it's cool it's out tomorrow, but I kind of like seeing, like, the Legend of Zelda music and trying to battle with the beat.
Yeah, because you've never played Crypt of the Necrodancer.
I never have. I've never actually seen gameplay of Crypt of the Necromancer before. So.
Now you have.
But it's cool watching, like, listening to, like, the fields of, like, Hyrule, and, like, having to fight to the beat of the music, I thought was really cool.
So you know that guitarist I like, Family Jewels?
Yeah.
You listen to a lot of his Octopath stuff?
Oh my god.
He worked on Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Really?
He did the soundtrack. He helped do the soundtrack. So hopefully he helped do this one as well.
I hope so.
They're also working on, that studio is working on another game as well, which was, I think, that mech game from earlier.
Okay.
I think that was that mech game.
Makes sense.
But Mario Sonic is doing another Olympic game.
This is the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, as we saw. Yep. Eggman in a creepy-ass tracksuit.
He has feet.
It's not right.
It's not right. It's coming out in November, and I think they teased, like, an 8-bit mode?
I think they did, yeah, because I saw a lot of them doing, like, 8-bit a little bit.
Yeah, but they're showing, like, some of the new Olympic sports, like skateboarding's being added to this Olympic. Well, did you not know that?
No, I did, but I was laughing, though, seeing, like...
Yoshi
on a skateboard is
looking, like, determined as hell.
And, it's Tony Hawk Mario edition.
And I think they're adding BMX as well.
Nice. I know for years people have argued they want, like, Olympic, like, hide-and-seek and stuff.
The tag?
Yeah, Olympic tag, that's what it was.
They might be adding lightsaber duels to Olympics in the future, because the French Fencing Federation actually acknowledges that as a form of fencing now.
It's legit to watch people actually fight like that. It's
I know,
crazy.
it's dope as shit.
I would love to learn to fight like that.
Alright, and then...
I'm gonna step this way, because I need to give her space to have this little freak out.
Oh, wait, never mind. It doesn't come out the same day as Final Fantasy VII. Oh, I've got a couple of weeks before that.
Yeah, either way, I'm gonna step back from it to give her space to...
I'm not gonna scream. I already did that.
She already screamed, but I'm giving her space to flail happily. So I'm gonna give her a moment here to have this. Take it away.
Animal Crossing got announced! So, Nook just sends your ass to a deserted island, and you have to colonize the deserted island? But I don't care. Nook can send me to fucking Fiji or fucking the Sahara Desert, and I'll be happy. So it's called Animal Crossing New Horizons. It comes out March 20th. They apologized for it being delayed, and they actually came out and said that they believe that they would rather have a better work-life mix than rush a game out and have crunch time. So they pushed it back to March, and I'm okay with that. And they showed some stuff in the treehouse, and it looks really good. And if you hand somebody a Joy-Con, you can play with multiple people now.
Yep. But yeah, I had to give her...
You're gonna help me collect some shit.
Oh, I'm aware of that. I'm fully aware. But I had to give you that moment, though, because I knew you wanted to go into very deep detail. I didn't want to be in your way to explain that one, especially because I knew you wanted a happy flail.
Yep, but yeah, Animal Crossing.
For Animal Crossing lovers, this is the game you guys have been waiting for a long time, and I'm happy for you guys. You guys have waited patiently and very impatiently. I saw the fucking summoning circles on Twitter all weekend, so...
But we got it.
You guys finally got something.
Yeah, I'm okay with it being a deserted island. Looks like you'll help build it up and, make it into an actual, like, civilized thing.
It looked like it was taking a lot of inspiration from the mobile game.
It looked a little bit like Pocket Camp, but...
At least for the creative aspect, for, like, how do you, like,
but
the
as
menus.
we saw, it was, like, you make the shit and it's instant as opposed to the timer, like, with Cyrus.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, a mobile game, like, you have to have some of those kind of longevity things, I feel like, to make it build out like that. Otherwise, it takes some of the kind of like some of the creative aspects for, like, the design look of Pocket Camp, but in a normal Animal Crossing setting.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Although the weird Nook Mile things, I was still confused by hell of.
Oh, it's just like little achievements.
Yeah, but I think it's cool that they did that.
They give you, like, little achievements now. Like, if you make X amount of tools, or, like, you take a picture of something, or you catch bugs, like, you get little achievements now.
Yeah, so it
So I bet you can use it, like as a special currency. Like, in New Leaf, you got, like, when you got the play coins off of your 3DS, you could use it to buy certain Nintendo items. So I have Makar's mask in my New Leaf file that lives in the upstairs of my house, in my plant room.
Right.
Because it fits. So I got a little Makar's mask, and you can actually wear it, and you kind of look like Makar from Wind Waker.
All right.
So it's stuff like that. So I bet you that's going to be used for, like, special items.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for nothing new. They also confirmed you could play stuff outside now.
All right, that's right. You could actually like have all.
You
the
can
stuff
actually change the skin tone of your villager.
Mm-hmm.
They have pupils and they move.
I was just enjoying everyone's tropical shirts.
Yeah, everybody's tropical shirts are nice.
They got rid of the bridge, and now you actually have to pole vault across into the different areas.
You didn't want to pay for the bridge. Well, you're not gilding the bridge.
They found a way to make it work.
And they ended the trailer with with Tom Nook saying, "Oh, by the way, you owe me 49,000 bells. It's okay. It's just pocket change."
It's Tom Nook.
It made me so happy.
Well, and also the fact that it shows 8 players on the island together.
So you can play with 8 players.
Well, that's huge that you can have that many people on that island together.
Yeah, and so this comes out March 20th, so I have a couple of weeks to beat Final Fantasy. It's fine.
A couple weeks to beat Final Fantasy and for us to enjoy a couple other games as well, but the thing is, though, I will tell this for anybody that wants to stream this, probably not this game. This is probably not a good game to stream. There's just the way the game works from what I've seen. You take a few hours to get everything kind of set up, and after like about a week of doing that, then it's like 5 minutes just to get things cleaned up.
It's about 20 minutes a day if you want to talk to all your villagers and clean up your town. It was nice in New Leaf because you could set stuff up so like weeds wouldn't grow and all that. So like I haven't played New Leaf in about a month or 2.
Yeah, so your village.
So my town might actually be fine. Like I won't get the cockroaches in my house now because I set that up. The weeds won't be there. I might lose some villagers, but it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, but either way, so if anyone was going to be like, hey, you guys should stream this. It's not really a good streaming game for that because it's really going to be after that first week of kind of setting everything up. Then it really becomes kind of it just kind of controls itself at that point. All you have to really do is just talk to people and kind of clean up.
But it'll be interesting to see, like, you could, like, shovel out paths and looks like actual harvest flowers, not just put them in your pockets. Like, you actually pick the flowers off.
We also saw something cool that you actually, instead of, like, just the money rock now, you actually have rocks that actually you can hit and actually drop other resources.
I knew when he he dug the area behind him. I'm like,
knew what they were up
you
to.
motherfucker.
They knew exactly what they were up to.
I know this. All right, so we're going to move on because I could talk all day about Animal Crossing. And
Oh,
we're already
she could.
At 2 hours.
She could.
We're already at 2 hours. I mean, you need to go get dinner.
Yeah, we're almost near the end, though.
So, here is the rapid fire. And here we go.
Yep. Right. Again, we need to watch this She had to watch this 3 times to get all the release dates and all the names.
I did. Okay. Spyro's coming out September 3rd. Silksong's coming out eventually. This is the Hollow Knight expansion. Ni no Kuni, not a remaster, but they're releasing Ni no Kuni on the Switch. It's going to be on September 20th. Minecraft Dungeons on spring 2020. They're bringing Elder Scrolls Blades in the fall. My Friend Pedro, which is a Devolver game, is coming 6/20. Doom Eternal is coming out eventually.
We knew that was going to happen.
Sinking City, which looks like Cthulhu-esque.
Very Cthulhu-esque.
Like Arkham Horror.
Yeah.
It's coming this fall. Wolfenstein Youngblood is coming in July. Dead by Daylight is coming September 24th. Crystal Chronicles is coming sometime this winter. Stranger Things 3 is coming out on July 4th. Catan is coming out on June 20th. I had a stroke, sorry.
Yep.
Just Dance is coming out on November 5th. Super Lucky Sale is at some point this fall. Dauntless is coming out later this year. Super Mario Maker 2 is coming out June 28th. Alien Isolation is coming out sometime this year. And Dragon Quest Builders is coming out July 12th.
Yeah, so again, Nintendo's conference had a lot of release dates, like everyone else was like coming soon or to be announced.
Well, that's not the last thing.
No.
The last Smash announcement.
And this is the big one that people have wanted for years. The trolling is over.
We got Banjo-Kazooie.
We finally got Banjo-fucking-Kazooie.
And I'm so happy.
Again, they trolled the crap out of people in that trailer, too. You were looking away when they put the trailer on. And
I was writing shit down!
You were writing shit down, but all I see is Diddy, Donkey Kong, and King K. Rool all in like a house just sleeping, and a Jiggy popped across the screen. I'm like, honey, there's a Jiggy that went across the screen. What?
So then they fake you out because it looks like Banjo, and then fucking Duck Hunt shows up, and you're just like...
They pulled the King DDD stunt again for when they announced King K. Rool.
And then they showed Banjo.
Banjo drop kicks them off the screen, holding his iconic banjo, Kazooie with the little horn, and you have Donkey Kong, Diddy, and King K. Rool all sticking out of the house, going like, yeah, our old buddy's back!
We pretty much predicted their kit, too. It looks similar to what we were going to say.
Yeah, like, the idea of, like, them sprinting across the screen, it's,
Kazooie running.
The one move I did not expect was Banjo taking Kazooie and using her like a fucking club and just billy slapping people with her.
It's also, for me, for music-wise, it's also awesome because Grant
Kirkhope.
Thank you. Grant Kirkhope did the reveal music, and apparently he wanted to tell people so bad, and he couldn't.
And the fact of the matter is that he will be doing all the music for the Smash levels for Banjo-Kazooie as well.
Apparently, he spent the entire day after Banjo-Kazooie was announced watching people react to the reveal and was crying every time.
I think out of all the reactions we saw, the one from the completionist is the best one. He screamed like a full-on woman and then cried at the very end.
So many people did. This is a lot of people, especially in our generation's first video game.
A lot of people's first video game, but this is a character since Melee people have been begging for.
So now we know why Xbox was plugging Nintendo.
Yeah, because that happened. And again, this is a character that people have waited a long time. They come out in the fall this year, which means we'll have one more character in the winter that'll be announced, and then one around February that'll be the last one for this fighter pass. And I think we discussed that leaves 10 potential fighters that could be added later.
There's 16 placeholders that they had announced when the game originally came out, so if they want to do more fighters, they can.
We had P. Peron taking the first one, and then we have
5 of this one.
For this fighting pass.
Yep. And the actual last announcement was they're working on a sequel to Breath of the Wild.
Yep, so Breath of the Wild 2 isn't confirmed thing that they are doing. It looked very Twilight Princess-esque.
Apparently it's supposed to be darker than Majora's Mask.
Which is impressive. And also, Zelda had short hair. She looked adorable.
Mm-hmm. And that's it. So how would you rate this?
Nintendo's kind of won this in the end with an 8.
My rating is as somebody who's mad that the Patriots keep winning.
Because, again...
Nintendo won again.
Nintendo won again, because they had an amazing library to go off of this time as well.
Yep.
The Switch is doing what the Wii and the Wii U failed to do.
They have a library.
They have a library and amazing titles coming out for it.
So
because when they came out, nothing really good or memorable really came out on the Wii or the Wii U unless you're talking Mario Kart or a Smash game. Even then, you're still kind of like,
Yeah. So we're at 2 hours. We're going on two and a quarter.
Yep.
What did you think of this year's E3? Now, obviously, E3's not done. They're still making game announcements and they're showing stuff. But in terms of the press conferences, this was the majority of the news.
And that's what most people watch E3 for, is for the press conferences. Let's be honest here. For a full majority, again, aside from the fact that me really appreciating Nintendo and what Square did, this was kind of a very lackluster year, I think, in general. Because it seemed like Sony not being there, that kind of left a giant gray area for certain games. Because we've been noticing Sony's been releasing a lot of trailers for games for the last week. And honestly, I would have loved to see those at a press conference. But since they were not being shown at that, it kind of took away from some games that people were really expecting. But you had Bethesda being such a disappointment, EA being a disappointment. We were concerned about Ubisoft, and Microsoft, we're just not really sure what the hell's going on.
Well, Microsoft, I'm pretty sure they're just waiting for some of the big announcements when they announce Scarlet.
And that's what my fear is, especially with what they're trying to promise for Scarlet being kind of more of a worrisome.
This year is kind of celebrate the end of this generation, because next year they're going to start pushing the PS5 and Project Scarlet hard.
They are going.
And I think that's one of the reasons why Sony didn't come out this year, is because they don't really, frankly, don't have much. They blew their load with God of War, with Spider-Man.
The announcement of Last of Us 2 and everything.
Last of Us 2, Death Stranding.
And we've discussed with Last of Us, we think that'll probably be a launch title for the PlayStation 5.
It's either going to be a launch title for the PS5, or they're going to wait until a little bit into 2020 to really show that.
Yeah, but either way, that's probably going to be a big title for the PlayStation 5 if that we think was going to be true. Otherwise, Death Stranding got announced with a trailer, more on a release date and everything,
Yeah, it's November.
Yeah, so, again, PlayStation released a lot of stuff.
Fuck, I forgot. That's November, too.
So that's the thing. A lot of stuff was announced on Sony's end, just not right away because of them not showing up.
They'll probably have a state of play within the next week or two to show some stuff, but at least in terms of a lot of it, we're in a transition year. Next year, we're going to see next gen hit really hard.
Now, one conference we did not want to talk about in the end, because we did watch it, we didn't write any notes, though, was the PC Gaming Show.
Oh, yeah, and they had a bunch of shit.
In all honesty, I was actually really excited for a lot of PC games than I was a lot of the actual console games this year.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, Planet Zoo.
Oh my god, you lost your shit at Planet Zoo. Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3. There was a bunch of games that came out. I just didn't take notes because it was pretty rapid fire.
It was rapid fire, and again, PC Gaming Show, I feel like it's a very hit and miss one, to where we just didn't really think of it. We just kind of woke up, like, you know what, maybe we'll see something cool. We actually were more impressed with that one than we were a lot of the other conferences.
Yeah, and they showed some stuff on Borderlands 3 in that as well. They kind of explained, like, the Guardian rank versus Badass rank, which we'll talk about when we do the Borderlands 3 stuff.
I will dive down that rabbit hole.
You have fun with that rabbit hole.
I will.
It's not my rabbit hole.
No, but at least it gives you a chance to kind of ask questions from, like, someone who hasn't really known much about the series, for people to kind of learn a little bit, though.
But with that being said, I think this wasn't the worst E3 I've seen.
No.
But it definitely was a little bit weaker, but again, I think it's because we're in a transitional year.
And transitional years are always a little bit of a wonkier E3.
Yeah, before the PS4 and the Xbox One, it was very much the same way, where it's like they didn't really have much to announce, but they still showed some stuff.
Yeah, but it definitely was
this
that.
year feels like we're playing a little bit on the back foot because we already know the next gen's coming where they're going to start pushing it next year really hard.
Yeah, we're going to
So let's show what's left of this generation, and let's end this on a high as best as we can, and let's get ready for the next console generation.
And that's the big thing they need to do is get that ready. But again, like you have stated, transition year, and there's probably going to be a lot of things that will probably get announced next year for the launching titles for some of these new consoles.
For sure.
But at the same minute, though, with some of the things that we kept hearing for Project Scarlet, a lot of it has left us kind of concerned with some of the things they're trying to promise for it.
I would say the same about the PS5, but the differences between the Project Scarlet and the PS5 is we've seen that. We've seen the PS5 go.
We've seen them actually show what it's supposed to do.
We've seen it cut back on load times. We've seen it actually help with the rendering and everything.
Well, that's the thing, though. It always seems like when Sony announces a new console, they'll actually show some of it. Xbox, they just kind of tell you, and you're just kind of meant to expect it when it comes out, and then you get very upset when it doesn't really live up to what you hoped.
The Xbox One runs fine. It's just it didn't have a
library.
It still doesn't have a library.
They really are trying to focus on everything going on the PC, it seems like.
Yeah, they're trying to get a slice of the pie and go into the streaming thing.
Which kind of almost makes it kind of hilarious, because it almost feels like kind of buying the new console seems a little moot if they make it all on PC. If you have a good gaming PC, then why would you buy the console? But if you don't have a good gaming PC, then yeah, you'll buy the console.
Yeah, we'll talk more about the console generations, especially as it gets closer, because, I mean, we've heard them talk about Scarlet, and we've seen a little bit on what the PS5 can do, but it's not like we've seen much, at all.
Although me and a couple coworkers made the joke when I mentioned them that the name of it is Project Scarlet. I made the joke like, what if it actually had like the color scheme of like the Scarlet Spider from the Spider-Man universe? Like, okay, that would be fucking cool as shit.
It won't.
I know it won't. It's gonna go back to the black look probably again. It's gonna be a bulky monster again, probably, knowing our luck with what they're trying to say it's gonna be able to do.
Well, maybe with what they've been able to accomplish with the Xbox One X, they'll probably keep it within a decent size.
Yeah, because we don't want this giant paperweight again. That is like overkill when I look at it every time.
Well, I mean, the PS3 and the PS4 down there are pretty
bulky too. I mean, like you look at the Xbox 360 and you see what they had to upgrade the thing and the size-wise, like holy crap.
Yeah, let's remind everybody that I have a second generation PS3, and it's not like I don't have a Slim or anything, and it's still like.
Yeah, that thing is still smaller than the Xbox 360, but again, the 360 is tiny compared to that freaking monstrosity the Xbox One is.
Yeah, so that's it. That's everything.
Yeah, so all in all, this year was kind of a weird year, but again, we're in the transition period.
Yep.
So, we'll probably see some new things next year, a lot of launch titles, a lot of promises that will probably have gamers questioning a lot of shit.
And just because E3 is about to wrap up tomorrow doesn't mean we're not going to, stop getting news. Gamescom's in August. TGS is in September or October.
Sony's got to have some stuff coming up here soon.
Sony's going to probably have another state of play here, probably within the next month or two. Just because E3 is over doesn't mean the news stops. This is just a good point for companies to drop a lot of information and drop it in a hurry.
Primarily for backers and everything, make sure that they're getting their money supportive to make these things continue, though.
Stakeholders, yeah, not backers.
Yeah, stakeholders, my bad. But, yeah, it's like, for the stakeholders, this is mainly for them, 9 times out of 10, but I appreciate the fact they really focus on games, not so much on the tech side this time.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if you guys love the tech, that's great for you guys, but for gamers, it's kind of a pain in the ass if you don't really care.
Yeah, and I'm a technophile myself, so getting to hear some of the tech aspect is good.
Yeah.
But I want to see what the consoles can do, not what you're telling me they can do. It was the same problem we had with the Xbox One X. They said that everything can run at 4K, and they said everything will be locked in 60. And that's just not the case.
It's not the case at all to start with for that, but also when all they do is show pre-rendered stuff and don't really show any actual gameplay. That's also one of our own gripes that we have, though.
Yeah, and that was my big problem this year, is a lot of things there weren't any, gameplay demos.
The only one that really had a gameplay demo for anything was just during Nintendo.
Yeah.
Because
that's mostly through the Treehouse.
Well, even aside from the Treehouse, it's showing, the trailers for stuff. You actually did get to see some in-game stuff a little bit, at least.
Yeah, you got to see a lot of stuff, actually in-engine. But
everybody else had pre-rendered stuff, and it just kind of left an awkward scenario of okay, what's going on here?
So, if anybody could buy me a new computer so I could play Planet Zoo, that would be swell. But
we're both admitting the fact we need to get a house computer to do
We're working
one
on it.
for streaming, two for better qualities, because our computers are at the end of their lives at this point.
Well, my computer. How old is your computer?
I got my computer. Your computer was what
I'm asking you when you got yours because I can tack a year onto mine.
I got mine 2013. It was the newest model of this brand when it first came out.
So 6 years. I got my computer about that time. It's about a 7-8-year-old PC.
Mm-hmm. So we're actually at the point now when we look at games on Steam, her computer legitimately cannot handle them.
Yeah. So everything's running on 1080s and stuff, and mine is a 660.
Yeah. So yours
is a 770.
Mine is pushing its luck.
Yeah, we're looking at upgrading here soon.
Yeah, we need it. But aside from that, though, it was a very different E3 from what we're normally used to, but I'm still excited for a lot of games. At the same minute, though, I'm also approaching with a lot of concern for some of the promises that are being made, too.
For sure. All right, so we're going to wrap this up because we have to go eat, and you have editing to do, and good luck editing this one because pictures and writing and all that fun, happy bullshit.
I'll be a busy night. Like, if I get it out today, I'll be impressed.
I'm going to be playing Pillars of Eternity.
Yep, I would like to get it out today, though, because I have to work tomorrow double, so.
Yeah. So we're not going to do a podcast next week. The only reason why we did one 2 weeks in a row is because it was E3.
Yeah, so I guess now that this is kind of like our official startup one in a sense because of E3 kind of being a very interesting beast to go over, we want to do this bi-weekly as much as we can and post on the same channels you guys are on right now. But I would love to continue like discussing games with you guys, so even if it's an off week for news, and if I'm streaming again, then maybe we can talk about some of the games and like some of the lore behind some of them as we go through some games. Or just have some fun topics. If you guys got like interesting things you'd like to hear us talk about, just shoot us some comments or like shoot us out messages on Twitter, and we'd love to hear some things that you guys would like to hear from us. We
don't know what we're going to be talking about next one. We'll figure it out, but I think from here on out things are going to have a more standard format.
Standard format. Then
just like I said, it's just because this was E3, and there was a shit ton of stuff coming out that we wanted to get it all out there. But it's not going to be this haphazard.
Yeah, it won't be as haphazard. But I really do mean it, though. If you guys ever have a certain topic you'd love to hear from us, just let us know down in the comments, and we'll try to pick out ones that we think are interesting, or just shoot us messages on Twitter, and we'll consider some topics to discuss. It would actually be fun. Or if there's a game coming out in that week, then maybe we could do some more like kind of backtracking and kind of figure out what's going on with that for our own sanity.
Yeah, I mean, it's only going to get worse as November gets closer.
As November gets closer, everyone brace your wallets and be smart on your purchases.
Hang on to your butts.
It's going to be a wild ride.
Yeah.
Either way, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us here at Base Camp again. Again, I'm Commander Crescent.
I'm Sivalger, sorry.
And we hope to see you guys next time when we do this again. So, enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. Bye.